Saveloy.
Go finish the word though. You can't just say Savel.
Fact check. Fact check. Saveloy. Save the
Loy.
the word. Yes, save Loy. Over that way. Can't be like Mike Dixon. Mike Dixon was like horizontal by the end of the podcast.
Started there and then he ended up
But he was like doing this. But it wasn't because he actually was that laid back.
Yeah.
Which is odd because he's not. He's quite uptight. You met him before?
I've come across him.
And like, he's so. When we did,
Yeah, wherever you want it. I don't want to.
I don't know if you found this, but when we did the Coleman's show at the customer's house, when Mike Dixon asked a question from the audience, it was like a ghost. Remember?
No, but you know why? Because
He
you
just
couldn't
came
see him.
in.
You just saw like a silhouette because you know it's backlit. You know, you
Backlit.
can't
His
His
really
voice
see
is
him.
so rich. He was like,
Yeah.
"I'm going to ask a question."
But everyone's sitting there, and yeah, I mean,
Sort of,
and Richard Senior. You just look at Richard Senior going, "This is aimed at you, Richard Senior," because they've got like this thing between them. So it's almost like it was a private conversation in the room, wasn't it?
But it was a bit like, remember Surprise, Surprise?
With Scylla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it our Alan? Or was it
no,
Robbie?
it was,
Robert?
No, who was it?
Who was the voice?
Our,
Was it
no.
I was going to say Robbie Burns.
Alan, because you're talking about our husband.
Well, I was going to say Robbie Burns.
Bobby was
What,
our
you mean
husband.
the old Scottish bard?
He is our Alan with a quick
Yeah.
reminder.
Alan.
He's our
Yeah.
Alan with a quick.
That was a bit like Mike Dixon was Alan. Oh, sorry, surprise, surprise.
He's Mike Dixon with a quick, with a nefarious question.
Who's the guy off Shawshank Redemption? Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah,
Lowest voice on earth. That sort of.
do you know he's got a double. Morgan Freeman has a double to double his voice,
Double his
so he
voice.
doesnn do him.
Really?
Yeah, but he gets paid to do.
Paid for it, though. Yeah.
He gets paid for a double to double his voice.
You know who
You
you
must own the rights.
Dan's got one as well, you know.
Was it you?
It's We Say Jack.
We Say
Remember the
Jack.
Jack
Oh,
the Ripper?
from the Jack the
Yeah.
Ripper, yeah.
He keeps saying that, but
You
I've
are
never
no
heard it, so
closer
I'm
now
like,
than
I
you
know.
were at the start.
Can we
See,
just test this, right, please? Let's kick off the podcast that way.
I've done this
Just
loads of
repeat.
times just for your
You
entertainment.
haven't done it properly, though. You are no closer to finding me than you were
At the
6
start.
months ago. Or, go on.
This I won't make an actor because I forgot all of that. You are no closer.
Go on. You are no closer to finding me
You are
than
no-
you were from the start.
You are no closer in finding me than you were from the start.
You can pin that to a certain street in Fulwell, can't you?
Can you?
Was it?
Yeah.
That was
Was it
incredible.
Horton
You watched
Spring?
that documentary?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Horton Spring.
Horton? Is it Horton?
You've been stalking me.
I don't know.
That's where
Just
I'm
sounds
from.
like a
man.
Horton
That's
accent.
where-
Hold on a minute.
It's Horton
Dan,
Spring
you
accent.
got,
Thank you very
some
much.
stuff in the closet here.
It's somewhere off the A690 for sure.
It's off the A690. I had this conversation the other day. It was with Robert Marker. Yeah.
Yes.
And he said, he says, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Well, in between Sunderland and Durham." Because, you know, you kind of, you start there, then you whittle it down.
Was it 10
How
miles?
close to the northeast you're from, you know?
Yeah.
And he went, no, where are you from? He says, you can tell us, you know. I'm like, Horton, of course I know Horton. I'm like, because majority of people don't have a clue what you're talking about. Yeah. And I was like, I said, you probably say the sign off the A690 and you've just said the same thing. So it's a sign. You remember things by signage. Like turn left at the red post box and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I used to work for Barclays Bank, and we used to go around all the branches, coaching the staff. And I went to Horton branch, and it was like, where the hell is Horton?
Yeah.
And then you go to Hetton-le-Hoe.
Hetton.
On the other
Horton
side of the
Hetton.
690.
Yeah, it's the rivalry. Yeah.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the cusp of the sign. So if you go like 100
You
yards
start
that way,
scraps and that.
Yeah.
in the
No any
summer.
fence houses, though.
no any fence houses. I've got good mates in fence houses. Yeah, so I reminisce.
Just sound like you.
No, it's where we've got all the social clubs are. That's the last time I was up there was for a funeral. But
Oh, God, yeah.
no, it was good. It was a good laugh though. It was good old nays up.
There was a big old nightclub on the 690, wasn't it? Big, back in the...
The Rafters.
That's it, yeah. Did it burn
So,
down or something? I can't remember.
The Rafters, it did burn down. I can't put this on the podcast, but we used to hang around at the Rafters in our cars, like
Right.
young lads, you know, with souped up cars and all that.
Yeah, your
Without
Novas
exhaust
and
and
Fiestas and
of course,
whatever,
I had a JSI, a Nova JSI.
Okay.
Lord,
Proper
do you know
job.
what I mean? My mate had an XR2. It's like back in the day, you know, when you souped your car up.
Oh, aye.
That was it. Oh, you missed out because you didn't drive, did
I
you?
didn't drive.
Yeah.
I didn't pass my test.
But, yeah.
till I
But
was
we used to hang
29.
around in the Rafters. That's
In
where I
car
met my
park.
wife. Was in that because we all kind of, you know, how you got like two groups and they walk past you sometimes and
Yeah.
trying to stand there. Big
Jets and the Sharks.
yeah.
Well, whipping out flip knives and that.
Well, it'd be Ford versus like Vauxhall.
We're going for a race down at Devil's Point and all that. It's always one of them, isn't it?
Is that how you met Sarah? You pull up
yeah.
with a toothpick in your mouth and that.
No, it wasn't really toothpick. It was more like
Collars up.
No, it was more like a cheeseburger. Back in them days, you know.
You can't get away with saying, I can't say this on the podcast, then go into a story.
No, but that's where I'm going.
The social club down,
No, but that's where I'll end. That's where I'll end the
Just a
story.
discarded cigarette. Bam.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Bet you've seen some social clubs.
Well, funny enough, we used to have a rule that we didn't, in the band, didn't play social
not?
clubs. Just because, you know, the nightmare stories of the concert chairman's always in charge, you know. Mm-hmm. I played in a band once called the Steve Graham Band, and we played in a social club, and, you know, a guy walks in, he says, who's in charge here? And Steve, the lead singer, says, I am. He says, that's why you're wrong, son. I'm in charge. And it was all about the noise meters, and if you went over a certain decibel, they cut you off and interrupt you for the meat draw, 245s.
No, like the meat
Here comes the bingo, and it was like,
I've got one of them in the house.
yeah, exactly. I can sell you one. And it always, you know, and you've got to end on Simply the Best, Tina Turner, or you haven't really.
Okay. Yeah.
So we kind of stayed away from it, but you end up doing private functions in social clubs where you like the hired help, but you're not paid by the club.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the best position to be in.
Aye.
So you go to the artist's dressing room, and you see, you know, all the little inscriptions on the wall saying, "Get me out of here! I hate clubland." You know?
I saw some. You know, I did that, didn't you?
Yeah, you were singing, weren't you?
From when I was 16 years old till I was about 20.
So that's when I first met you. Then you were singing
on
then.
and off. I was doing stuff, and it started off as my brother was in a trio, proper club band, right?
Right. What, like the full suits and everything?
It was like, you know, they were like leather pants and that, and you know, it was like that era.
I do.
And there was a summer, if I remember rightly, where the keyboard player was ill.
Right.
I was only 16.
So you got to stand there.
Do you want to earn some money this weekend? And I went, doing what? Playing the keyboard for the band. I went, I don't play keyboard, man. Mm-hmm. They were like, playing the keyboard for the band. Right. So I was like, all right, okay, what do I have to do? And like the other guy did, you know what I mean? Put over your backing tracks and all that. And then you'd have fill-ins and you'd do bits. And I remember, like, it was a full weekend of gigs. It was well paid, like, at the time.
Yeah, Clubland was big money.
16 years old, 17 years old. It was like 65 quid a half or something like that.
A lot of money.
And I was like, right, okay, I'm happy to do that. So I had to do 3 gigs. One of them was through the day. One was at the High Pit.
Yeah, social Cromlech, yeah, it was massive.
One was there, and there was another one, I think, in Middlesbrough. But the one through the day was the first one out of the 3.
Christ.
And it was at a beer festival, right? You walked into a tent, and I was like, "Where's the stage? Oh, there isn't one.
Just on the floor.
You're just like, I think we're on pallets or something like that."
Yeah.
I said, "But everybody can see us."
Aye.
I went, they'll see that I can't play the keyboard, right? So I had to stand, and it's just amazing how you dig deep and find that in your personality. I'm standing there. I looked absolutely ridiculous, right? I was really slim then. My ears were like that, right? Big cap on. And I thought I was like,
well, you
think
you look ridiculous.
Oh,
but look at the 80s bands and the hairstyles and the shoulder pads and the the new romantic stuff. You couldn't look any more ridiculous than that.
Oh, I just felt it though, you know, like I was a young kid. And I looked up at my brother, and they were much cooler. And I was standing there thinking, everybody knows what I'm doing here. And I had to stand for two 45-minute sets with people literally getting pissed, looking over my shoulder. And I was just now and again just doing that with it. Just
pretending,
messing around as if I knew completely what I was doing. People were already watching, going, "It's a complicated keyboard player, isn't it?"
You were on. You were trying too hard.
I was trying too hard. I looked like I was like completely on it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like orbital or something like that.
Well, when we first started in the band, it was just Ben and I. It was me first, and then Ben with a little hi-hat with some sticks, my brother. And then we ended up with the bass player, and then we got a bit of management with Chas Chandler. And as he always used to say, the first rule of rock and roll, take the money.
Yeah.
So you got 65 quid, whether you look like an idiot.
So what era was Chas Chandler managing you? Because I remember watching you guys.
Yeah.
Before, well, actually, it was when we first started working together.
At the
When you were
Metropolitan.
playing at the BRX.
Oh, BRX on a Sunday. Well, Chas was around then, but bless him, he wasn't there for long. He came and found us, I think it would be 87.
Yeah.
87. And he was with us for a good number of years. We took the studio and everything, but he warned us up front. He says, I'll not be here long, by the way, because he had heart problems and basically pushed everything to the limit. He was rock and roll till he died. At
You know Chas Chandler, don't you?
56.
Yeah, animals.
Yeah, animals. But for us, I mean, we knew the animals, but we knew Slade.
Yeah.
But my hero was Jimi Hendrix. And obviously, touched the hand that touched the hand. So it was like, you know, we went into his office, bit like this actually, and it was all gold discs all around the wall, you know, like. And he says, you don't have to sign anything. We'll work together. I'll guarantee you'll get more work and you'll get better at what you do.
Yeah.
And he was right about
What
that.
a pitch.
to be fair.
That's great.
It was great.
Dead
And-
clear.
It's good, isn't it? It's kind of it doesn't happen often. The honesty about
No,
that.
it was dead straightforward. Everybody said, oh, don't trust Chas Chandler, he's this, he's that. He was great with us, and he did teach us all the basics of rock and roll, you know, the rules on stage, how to prepare for gigs, how to look professional, how to get changed into something ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, just so that you didn't look like the crowd.
Yeah, but I
It
think
was
it's that.
all those things.
But it's important. It's stage presence as well. Because
Yeah.
lots of times stage presence can override the talent of what you do, or even the music as well. Sometimes, I mean, the king of stage presence is Freddie Mercury, isn't he? So it's just hands down. But then you've got the talent and everything else on top of that. But he, compared to the band, was just he was.
Well,
that.
he sold the band.
Yeah, completely.
And Chas was all about, it's about sales. You know, with Jimmy, it was gimmicks.
Yeah.
You know, set the thing on fire,
Yeah,
play
of course,
behind your
yeah.
head, play it
Be
with your
remembered.
teeth.
Yeah.
But he says, and if you do it once, one person might see it, so do it 30 times. So the whole crowd saw it, you know?
Yeah.
So we'd have to do, you know, people used to say to me, how much do you rely on gimmicks? Oh, yeah, rely on gimmicks.
Yeah.
He had a talent as well, like Freddie, but it's kind of, you've got to sell the band. And, you know, Noel Redding wasn't much of a salesman, playing the bass. But Mitch Mitchell was amazing on the drums.
But it happens a lot. I mean, even you go, look, there's Oasis. Noel ain't much of a front man, but he's the talent in the band. That's how originally, right?
Songwriter.
And then Liam was. It's just the way. I mean, he's got the mic like Lemmy from Motorhead. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he's kind of chin up style, the same as Lemmy. Lemmy was a good front man.
Great
It's
front
just
man.
that.
Yeah.
And he was a bass, wasn't he, as well?
He was bass player, yeah. He was a roadie for Slade.
Was he really?
Back in the day, yeah.
Never.
Slade was one of his heroes, yeah.
Okay.
Amazing effect, actually. Slade, when you go back through the
Yeah.
back catalogue, you've forgotten half the stuff.
But I think Noel and them, they were like, I think he was a roadie for, was it Stone Roses and stuff like that?
Yeah. Stone Roses and
They're big,
Spiral Carpet.
Spiral
That's
Carpet,
right,
so,
yeah.
I mean, they were the two,
first
weren't they?
Manx
Yeah,
sort of
he's
bands,
the-
Yeah, they were the two. Like, it's mad, that era, wasn't it? It was huge.
It was
Defined
bands. It was back
the
to
sound.
bands, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
and guitar bands.
Yeah.
Because it went
Slowly.
synth in the 80s, didn't it? And DX7 Yamahas and, you know, even Duran Duran. Now you look back, they're a great band, but at the time it was kind of synthy sound, you know, you couldn't tell who was making the noise, really.
Yeah, it was light poppy, wasn't it? But they kept the keyboards in because they brought about the Hammond organ.
Yeah,
I mean, in Spirals, that sounds phenomenal.
Sounds
The
it is.
Charlatans as well. Charlatans, that organ. But that comes from the 60s, and I used to love a Hammond organ.
Well,
in all
it
of
was.
all the tracks.
We still do a cover of what do you call it? Skip the Light Fandango. Forgotten the name. of it.
Light Shade of
The
Pale.
original, White Shade of Pale.
White Shade of
Yeah.
Pale. What did I just say?
He was like lighter.
Light Shade of Beige.
That's a Dulux Pantone reference, I'm sure.
The B&Q.
Dulux Pantos.
And that was all the original. Yeah. That was the original sort of Hammond sound.
Yeah.
C63 Hammond, I think it is.
It just,
With the Leslie speakers that just swirled and.
but kind of, it's like, I mean, it opens the track Weirdo. If you put Weirdo on, that's the best opener. Just bang, keyboard. It just sets the tone for the rest.
Phenomenal.
And then you're off.
Yeah.
You know, it's got, I don't know, just got momentum, hasn't it? You know, but it's a lovely sound.
As every band found, though, trying to tour with a Hammond organ because they weigh like 2 tons and the speakers are enormous, it's just not possible.
Yeah.
When did it stop for you, Roger? The music bit.
Oh, God. I was thinking about this I was watching a Catherine Tickell podcast that you did, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, that sounds just like me
Amazing
when we were
talent, like.
kids, you know. I think I got a piano when I was 4, which was 50p at the local auction rooms.
Yeah.
And it was £4.50 to have it delivered to be fair. So it's more than the piano. But
It's extortion.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? But we used to go to a lady who played at the City Hall in Wrighton where we lived, and she was 50 pence at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And she would sketch where you had to learn up to, you know.
Was that coming from your mum and dad, or did you?
Yeah, mum used to take us down. Dad would play with his eyes closed or having a drink, and he could play all sorts. I've got a story about him when he started playing piano.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. He was one of 11 kids, and they lived in Forest Hall. There was another family up the road had a piano, and they said, Dad, they want rid of it. And our Bobby, my dad, would always go and play it at night. So they said, well, if we move it along, we can have it. Right, go and get it. So the night they moved the piano was really foggy. So it was like, you know, like a thick mist. And of course, the fog got into the piano and it was into the felts. So when they wheeled it in the lounge, and my granddad said, go on then, Bobby, play something. And he started playing, it just went thump, 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 because all the keys had swollen up. So it made no noise, so you could smack over there. That was the end of his piano career. Yeah. Bless him. But yeah, I went to piano lessons, and it was great. It was one of those things where they want you to do the grades and study and do classical, and I was like, oh, I don't think I want to do that. I just wanted to play like Elton John or, you know, anything rocky or whatever was in the charts. But I think my first gig was Wrighton Parish Hall or Church Hall, age 6.
6?
Yeah, we did Heavy Denver, Annie's song by John Denver.
Oh,
it
Annie's
was
song's
class.
classic, man.
It was
Still
class.
gets me in tears every time I listen to it.
Yeah. Well, we had the album when we were kids. Ben and I used to sing all the songs, like a live album.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a gig there, and then we did Wrighton School Festival, 77, I think it was. And I've still got the programme. And I moved to Ponteland after that, and 2 kids who were on the programme were in my class at Ponteland. And I came 3rd. I thought, I played that perfectly. And the guy said, oh, you didn't read the music, so we marked you down. I was like, oh. So somebody's supposed to turn the music, sit next to you.
Yeah.
And I just played the whole thing with just playing it. And it was like, big head.
You kicked the piano over and walked off the stage.
Oh, yeah, kick the stool off, yeah. Set it on fire, age 8.
Spin the book across the room. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Take your music sheets.
But I think after that, it was, I was thinking about it. We obviously had piano at home, and you get dragged out of bed to play for your mum and dad's friends and stuff like that, which I loved doing, love entertaining. Ben loved singing. But I crashed a car when I started work, and I only had third-party insurance. So I think I owed about $7,000 on this car. And I had to get a job at night to try and clear off the debt, you know. So I went to be a waiter in a pub, and on the 3rd night I spilled pints over all the customers. So I thought, this isn't going to work. And a mate had a pub, and my dad was in the trade by then, selling plates and stuff. And he said, look, he wants somebody to play on a Thursday night and a Sunday lunch. So I went along on my lunchtime, you know, drove along. And he said, go on and give us a tune. So I played him something. He says, come back the night. And it was the original Masons in Walpole. I think it's called something different now. A guy called Kevin Kelly, great entertainer guy. And it was all blokes with your flat caps on and whippets. And you knock up at it, Elton John, and they go, do you know what else? You know, and he's like...
My arms crossed.
And eventually it would end up in Jerry Lee Lewis or something that they knew they could sing, like Whole Lot of Shaking or Great Balls of Fire. But it was great. And then you go back to Sunday lunch and it's all couples going, do you know any Elvis? And it was, you know, get your hands in the air by Sunday lunch. And it was like a drug.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was 30 quid on a Thursday and 40 quid on a Sunday. And one night I persuaded my brother to come down, and Dad got him drunk, and he brought a hi-hat and some sticks. Well, that was it. We're a double act then. Won 80 quid. There's a tenner for you, Ben.
Did you always find it natural, though? Did you always find it, like...
I mean...
thrust into it really early on.
It's one of those things. I think you can learn to play the piano, and you can play by music, and you can learn to perform. But you've got to want to be on stage. You've got to want to sell the tune. You've got to look at people and not be frightened at what they do when they look back at you, you know, because if you make a mess of it, you make a mess of it. And, you know, people vote with their feet. Yeah. But you've got to want to do that every time you get on stage. And I think that's where, going back to your Freddie point, he wanted that so badly because they were out of focus, weren't they, when Live Aid came. And he went on there and just killed it.
Yeah.
because he needed to show all those other bands he was the entertainer. And I think that was the driver. It was never the money, really.
Yeah.
It became the money at one point where you were earning more in your night job than you were in your day job. But I think the love of it, just to get on stage and entertain people and get somebody singing back, or and when Ben wrote songs, when they sang your lyrics back at you, that was amazing. That's a great feeling.
So was Ben always drumming? Was he? Because I remember when I come to see a BRX, I always remember him singing, being right up top with Jess as well. Actually.
Yeah, Jess as well. Well, we did about 8 years, I think, where Ben was the drummer.
Yeah,
and he loved it. He's a great drummer. He's just root. He was like me. I went to guitar lessons. He went to drum lessons down in Dean Street, I think it was. And he's just a natural. He's just split your head into four, one hand, two hand, left foot, right foot, can just do it. But he got bored because you're behind the kit, no one can see you. And you're kind of, there'd be a microphone coming in here to do harmonies. And he said, I went on holiday, he said, can I go up front? I said, yeah, we'll get another drummer in, good friend of ours, who was good, really good drummer too. And so he went up front. And I think he did it for 2 years. But then he realised you've got to do all the crack with the crowd.
Yeah.
You've got to remember all the songs. You've got to lead them.
Yeah.
And you're always on.
Yeah.
And Ben went after me, says, can I go back in the kit? I says, if you want. But it wasn't that he was brilliant at it. I mean, he really was. He was doing Robbie Williams tricks with microphones. He's got a better voice than me. It's softer.
Got different voices.
Yeah, different. But being a frontman's quite hard work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, well, the thing is, it's a responsibility, isn't it, to be a front man? Because everyone's going to come to you. It's almost like, but every single band, everyone just associates the front man is their band, and everyone else is not. And it's usually, and then that's when the rivalry starts, and that's when the egos kick in, and that's when you go, hang on, why are you getting all the attention and all that kind of stuff? But
separate dressing rooms and that.
But it probably ends up like that. But now it depends if you turn it into a business. I mean, Metallica, they were notorious for that, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? Because it's Lars and then it's James and they were so close to it, but Lars, it's my band, and then it's the egos kick in as well.
Yeah.
But he puts himself as a very visual person on that stage. So
people will find their lead singer or their front man. Look at the Beatles. I mean, some people were John followers, some people were Paul followers, some people were Ringo followers. Great drummer. But it's, I mean, for us, obviously.
I like how you say it. Some.
Some
people
I mean,
were Ringo
probably
followers.
the most underrated in the band was George.
Yeah,
Beautiful
100%.
songwriter, tastiest guitar player. But he was competing against the best songwriters in the world.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Plus, it's also its personality as well and its character. And I think you're competing against that. You could have all the talent in the world, but it doesn't beat the personality,
And like John was driving a group, wasn't he? But a group, not a band.
Yeah.
And then Paul was obviously the musicality, which got them the longevity.
You ever watch a documentary?
Oh, God, aye.
Fantastic.
All the time.
You see the toxicity and the collapse of it really, really clear.
That was
differences.
Well, that was produced by a mate of ours, Bob Smeaton.
Yeah.
You know Bob? No. Local lad. He was a northeast actor, singer. He was in a band called the Loud Guitars in Whiteheath. Phenomenal frontman, but as our guy Chas told him, you're a better producer than you're a singer. And he went on to do the Beatles anthology. And
Really?
And he's done that latest documentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just Jody lad.
Love that. Another Northeast
Bob
link.
Smeaton, he's
Oh,
superb. You'll have to get him on here.
That's the thing you don't know. These things there.
Stuff he's done.
Yeah.
I remember the plays he did. He was on telly when we were kids at school. He's only a little bit older than us, but phenomenal. But his production talent and that Beatles thing that the anthology did, he got awards for it and everything. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how, because you're clearly really talented, right? You are, Ben. I've seen you on stage.
Bless you.
Right?
I'll take that.
No, but you are, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does seem to come natural. How did you end up working in banking and then going on to do what you do now?
Well,
Like, and I
there's
know
a
Ben
funny
had a
story
different route and all
attached to
that.
that,
So, no, but you know,
Yeah, I think, when, I don't know, it was, be 85? So when I was 15 and I decided I was going to leave school in the May when you got waiting for your results, you had to get a job. And in those days, your mum or your dad would make you write for jobs. And so we wrote to all the banks. I was like, I don't know about banking, but never mind. And then I wrote to a recording studio in in Heaton, called Jenkinson's. And I'd done a demo tape there when I was 12 to try and get on a TV show. And I didn't get anywhere because kids, 12-year-old playing Jimi Hendrix covers. Got nowhere, you know. But I remembered the place and I thought, oh, and it was a job for a runner, you know, so you were taking like film reels and stuff and scripts from one place to another, and you probably got a company scooter or something like that, and it sounded dead.
It does sound cool.
Dead
now.
exciting, you know.
It's exciting.
So I wrote into that and I got an interview in it, and I got an interview with the bank as well, so I put the suit on and I got both jobs. I think the letters both came like a day apart. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting going, what do you do, you know? And of course, being from the Northeast and the precarious job market, and Mum and Dad had a business that was up and down, and it was like, well, take the bank job. It's job for life, you know.
You thought we ahead. You went for it.
And you go, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But I did, and to be honest, I had 10 and a bit fantastic years with Barclays, with the people. Mm-hmm. Great training, lovely people. It wasn't a bad job, but I think I got to 20, 25, 26, and I was like, right, how do I get to be that? And they were like, well, when you're about 40, and I was like, what? 40?
Yeah.
I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, obviously, because of the crashing a car and owning some money, we'd started playing in the band. So we were doing both anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, when I had my own branch at Percy Street, there was 20 staff who ran it, and I sat there with a tie on and a badge. Mm-hmm. And I was asleep half the time. We were playing 4 nights a week and 5 days a week. And you were just like, hello? But it was, it was time to go there because the music was kind of taking over and the day job was becoming a bit...
It's such a contrast of worlds, though. Did you feel like two different people?
Yeah, it's like...
Tonight, Matthew.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Clark Kent and Superman. It's like,
absolutely.
it pulls
take
apart.
the suit off and there's a leather shirt underneath.
I was going to say, like, just
take your wig off and the hair falls down. And
But it was.
Every now and again, confusing your situations. Yeah. Wanting to work with a leather shirt on.
Oh, damn.
Well, hold on a minute.
It was because you had longer hair. You know, when we had hair down here, and it was proper mullet stuff. It was all curled up and,
I've seen some of the pictures.
Fun at the back, business at the front. I can't remember.
Okay.
And it was like, black leather pants, black silk shirts. Chas made we wear the most ridiculous clothes just to see if we could.
Yeah.
And we went from Hawaiian shirts to white jeans, American flag shirts, silk shirts because they would get soaking wet.
Yeah.
And the fans would love that, like. And then they would fall to bits, and you'd rip them off, and it was like. What was it? Sex sells, Chas used to say all the time. Well, slightly flabby 22-year-olds. It wasn't quite boy band stuff, but we did have to go through that process, and we ended up in like black leather and black shirts, and then all bands end up in black with black.
Yeah.
Until your black leather pants got so soaked and they would stand up on their own. Yeah. They just they would crack. Yeah. It was just awful.
Wash them every 6 weeks.
Oh, man.
Well, I took them to get them fixed because they would rip. I would kick my leg when I was playing the piano, like sort of Jerry Lee style, and they would split. So you take them to get them fixed, and the woman at Old Ellen Square said, "I'm never touching them again. Just take them out of here." This stank of sweat. It's not the most glamorous side of rock and roll.
Right. They look cool, but they're not practical, are they?
No, they're terrible. No. Yeah. Get the PVC ones; they're worse. They squeak.
My first singing cameo in a club, I had to dress up as a priest.
Wow,
that was awful.
Why?
Honestly,
was that worse than the tartan?
Tartan was real deal. Those were nice tartan trousers.
Tartan trews.
We had to do it. We did. So I was a backing vocalist for a woman who had been singing in the clubs for years and years.
Right. Okay.
Right. I swear she was about 140. Right.
Sorry, I'm gonna guess at her name.
So no, that's the best bit, right? So she was the auntie of my girlfriend at the time. She was like, "You got a good voice, you ever thought about singing?" And I was like, "I'll give it a go." Like, I had to go around to her house, I remember, and like, she was getting us to sing like Michael Jackson songs in the original key and all kind. Just me, no music, standing in a room.
Yeah.
And,
come on, Chris, you can do it. So she goes,
"So you're gonna join this band?" It was called.
Go on.
Called Amanda Carey's Soul Mission. Right.
Really?
I went, "What's Amanda's real name?" "Oh, it's Norma." I went, "All right, okay." So I had this set, and the opening track was like a what do you call that Whoopi Goldberg film? thingy sister.
Sister Act.
Sister. It was Sister Act medley.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Right, so they did the whole build up, right?
Right.
And I was in Grangetown. It was the roughest club I could have started doing what I was doing. I'd never been on stage, not sing in like for a full set.
But Grangetown.
Never done it before. Right?
Sister Act.
Turned up Grangetown. It was like
Good mix, isn't it?
It was like, it was literally overturned cars and stuff on the street. And I remember walking in and thinking, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it was a light night. I think it was the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was still quite bright in the concert room. I had to pull the curtains closed.
To
and
get
that,
a
and
dark
it's like,
night time.
This is awful.
Yeah.
But anyway, did the whole Sister Act build up. Right? And before I go on, she goes, come here. I've got something for you. And she put this little like silver guitar pin badge on my lapel. And I was like, I was at our college at the time and I was thinking, I hope my mates don't see this. It's like living a double life. And I had to go on stage first. And they had a backlighting rig. Like for...
with triggered with the beats and stuff.
Quite low.
Bang your head.
I walked straight into it and the whole thing was spinning around like flashlights around the room. And as I walked
Did you think it was a dream or a nightmare?
Honestly, just what it felt like. And I walked in and it was deathly silent. And I remember at the time, because like every social club had the same characters.
Yeah.
Blokes walking around with like chicken legs and a carrier bag and that, and some blokes sitting with his wife dressed up as if they were going to
to a
like
wedding.
New Year's Eve or something, dressed up with fur coats and that, and
Half on a
blokes
Thursday.
sitting staring at you. And if the woman looked at you, they'd stare at you even more.
Stare at you more.
My wife's looking at you. Right?
You get wrong.
With their Paris goblet with one block ice.
And I walk on, and then as the music like went into the first song, I had to rip the thing off my neck. The dog, I was wearing a dog's collar. Like
All right.
proper
Proper
priest
job.
Oh, you had to rip it
And
off.
I was just, I went to feeling about that big. And I did that for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
You ever thought about bringing it back, Chris?
I then went on to go and do the same with your brother.
Wow.
But that was a
dog
bit
collar?
more like doing my own stuff. But
I think you've
didn't
got
do the dog collar stuff.
you've got more bottle than people know about.
like,
Yeah.
it's honestly,
What's the dog collar
mate,
all about? Like, why?
because I was a priest, it was Sister
I
Act.
know, is that when it kicks off? You do the thing. Is that,
Are
you the cue?
Yeah, that was it.
You're
Yeah.
the cue.
I had to do that.
Kick off.
I had to do that. Me. Look at me.
Sort of Blues Brothers-esque.
It was.
Isn't it?
But the stuff I could never forget was all the acts.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I've tried to write about it, little short stories, because the people you meet.
Oh, aye.
Peter Kay did a great job.
Oh, he's killed it for everybody, isn't it? That's the best job ever.
Totally.
Yeah.
I remember going into some of the changing rooms, like the concert rooms,
Artistes.
the artiste rooms, right? Yeah. And they've been round for about 40 years, never been decorated. But people would put the
comments.
wall and all that.
Oh, the business
And I remember
cards as
some
well.
of some of the names of the bands, man.
Oh, aye.
But they were serious.
Yeah.
And people, like, sometimes these people couldn't get out of their alter egos.
No.
So this guy, right, he was called Bon Jovi, right?
There was a wave of those tribute acts.
Honestly, tribute acts.
Yeah.
Like tribute within a tribute within a tribute.
That would sell now, though.
Oh,
Do you
mate,
know
but
what I mean?
you've got
now,
to
wouldn't it?
see his poster, though. He was an overweight bloke, right, wearing a black leather waistcoat,
Yeah.
no top on, underneath.
Just arms.
Right, just his arms out, sitting on a motorbike. It was like a Honda or something like that, right? And Bon Jovi's got like a Superman tattoo.
Yeah.
There was a Superman tattoo drawn with a biro on his arm, but he was serious. He was probably serious, leaning over the bike like that.
That's, with his
It was class.
best face on.
And you'd think, oh my God, I wonder what he's like when you first meet him. You meet him and he acted like Bon Jovi, but Geordie,
The full American Geordie
full on
accent.
serious.
Oh, man.
Well, I remember there was an act at the same time we were out called George Bensham.
Yeah.
And it was,
George Bensham.
and another one called Lobley Donegan. From Lobley Hill. They were class. They took a long time to get the name right. Yeah. I think they spent more time on the name than the act. To
Well,
be
you know,
fair.
my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
It's famous. Jarrah Elvis.
Oh, of course.
I mean, he was a legend.
Yeah.
I used to see Jarrah Elvis, right? There's documentaries about them on telly. Because it was exploitative. They got criticised, a lot of the clubs, because these guys had learning difficulties. And you'd walk around Jarrah Shopping Centre when I was a kid. You'd go into the public toilets right?
Yeah.
And Jarrow Elvis would be in there. I remember first meeting him, standing, but he spoke like Elvis. He go, "Hey, son."
Uh-huh.
Dyed his hair in the toilets.
Oh, bless him.
Toilets. Right, but like not phased at all.
Oh, no.
Sheepskin coat on and that down here.
In character. Big shades.
Right, big shades on. His wife was called Norma, right?
What's it
I know
called?
everyone's called Norma. My mum's called Norma. Sorry, mum. Right,
Hi, Norma.
doing his hair, and he'd walk out. You know, get himself right, and then walk out like he owned all of Jarrow. And he worked with like a guy called Pilo Gino. Right. Right.
Bless
Junior Elvis.
Yeah.
Right. There was like a whole group of them. They were like parodies. Go on YouTube and search for it. There's a documentary.
It won't go down a rabbit hole, will it? You can actually watch
Oh,
the
no, you
stuff,
can watch
yeah.
the full
It's legal.
documentary because it's a critique. It's like on Panorama or something.
Why's no one brought all of these back?
Well, you know,
for one night
Well,
only.
I told you I wanted to do a Jarrow Elvis t-shirt. I've got a
Get them all. Who's going to book this gig?
That'd be great. Yeah, be a
We
seller.
need the arena.
Right,
Let's
hold on.
fill it.
Got another idea.
Well, you know, speaking of local heroes and the Elvis thing, one of the things that inspired me when we were at Wrighton Junior School, sitting cross-legged, I think I'd be, I don't know, 6, 7, something like that. I just started playing the piano, really. There was a touring company of actors came and did a play, and it was like, wow. So there was a big old bus turned up, and they had amplifiers and lights, and there was a big back curtain, and the play was called Elvis, and it was Tim Healy. And what it was, he thought he was supposed to be a 15-year-old kid. He was playing the electric guitar, and he thought he was Elvis reincarnated. Well, Elvis had only died that year, so they were all going, "You're not Elvis, man." He says, "No, I'm man," and he was playing, and it was all about being yourself, I think, really, and not being somebody else.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to do that because he came, played a few chords, and sang, and like we're all going, "Wow!" And it was dead loud, you know.
Yeah.
And years later, at the Metropolitan, when you were working there, Tim was at the Theatre Royal in a play. Do you remember?
Oh,
He
yes,
did
I remember.
He did a run there.
They didn't come into the...
They came in, and they came in regularly.
I remember that now.
So Sean, bless him, sat us down on the table, and I said, "Oh, hi, Tim." I said, "I'd just love to say you influenced my little music career by coming to me school, you know, when I was about 8-year-old, and you were playing Elvis." He says, "You make me feel so old." And he walked off. I was like, "Oh no," my hero at the time. But obviously he'd gone through Auf Wiedersehen and all the rest of it, and it was
What a legend.
total legend. But it was that noise and those lights and the wow, and everyone's like, "What's this?" And he did it so well, you know. I don't know if he remembers it now, but it was a brilliant play. Yeah.
Oh, Dennis.
How are Dennis, man? How are Dennis, man?
So we'll fit 7 people. Oh, God, we'll call that on there. Get Magnificent 6 on the sofa, all sitting on each other's knees and that.
Nah, but we've tried, haven't we?
Jimmy's local again, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, I told you. I think I told you we had Tarquin,
Tarquin.
who's the,
Oh, yes.
who works with Jimmy now. He was on the podcast recently, well, just the week before.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
No, because he's been around. He's been selling out everywhere, hasn't he? The stage and stuff like that. So
They were rehearsing at the studio in the Clooney, where we used to do a demo down there.
Yeah.
Great little lad down there. It's a really good studio. Got a door out on the river. We can just sit and have a bit of think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good. The shows are fantastic. Many in the live theatre.
No, that's great.
I would like to have seen it. It was it was on just before Christmas, wasn't it?
It's bits on TikTok and stuff, and they're good. You know, he's talking to the crowd, and
Yeah.
it's sort of a blend of the songs and
One-man show kind of thing.
aye, it's
Yeah.
really good. Good band though.
Yeah.
Really jumped in the crowd and brawled with them at the end and that.
Oh, he's thinking
How did we get to that? Oh, Jarrow Elvis. That's it.
Jarrow Elvis. Right, okay, there's the title. From Jarrow Elvis to Jimmy Nail.
Did I tell you that story the other day about Jimmy Nail's surname? Nail.
Do you know what it is? I was trying to recount that story and I couldn't remember it, and I completely patched it back together. It wasn't
is
interesting.
that not his real
Tell us,
name then?
mate.
No,
So what's
he's
his real
called
name?
Bradshaw. Bob Bradshaw. Is it Bradshaw?
James Bradshaw.
James Aloysius something Bradshaw, I think it is. But when he was in the building trade, when he was
You
first
had links,
singing,
didn't you? What were you? Because you
well,
had.
it links back to the Metropolitan again. So the guy
By the
that
way,
did
just for reference,
yeah,
I worked in a place called the Metropolitan.
Sorry, in Grey Street.
It was about
97,
97. And it was a proper flagship.
It was a bank turned into a brasserie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really cutting edge. And it was for
Oh
its
God,
time.
yeah.
And we all kind of gravitated. I went to work there and they had like a Heben cohort. There was
Did?
me.
Did?
There was 4 other friends, all from heaven. We all worked there. And I think it's the first time, well, it was the first time I met you guys, because I worked with Jess.
That's right. Well, you got, I mean, there was a documentary about it, filming, Sink or Swim it was called.
Yes.
They did a documentary on the making of it. 2 lads from Oxford, Sean Parkinson and Nick
Gardner.
Nick Gardner, the chef, phenomenal chef from the Blue Boar, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Sean had been in a business called Liquid Assets in beer, and they were going to open this brasserie. And I think they came to see my dad, and my dad says, "You'll have to deal with these two. Like, they don't know what the hell they want, and they're posh." And I was like, "Oh, okay, Dad." So we met these 2
What they
guys.
want, and they're posh.
Oh, they weren't no posh, because they're from Oxford. Hello, Bob. How are you? It's very nice guys.
Yeah.
But over a series of weeks and months, we pulled together this place. But the guy that did the refurb, this is where I was coming back to Jimmy Neal, was a guy called Alan Warman.
Yes.
Right.
That's a name that I
So there you
completely
go. So
forgot.
he had a company called Superior Interiors, and he did the whole of the quayside, all of the Volgard bars,
Yeah.
Red House,
Yeah.
Bob Trollope, Bar 42, anything. He did, he did all of them, but he did the Metropolitan, and he turned it from a bank to that brasserie with a mezzanine and the striped walls.
It's like a collision of all your worlds coming together.
Oh no, well, it kind of was. We did the opening night with the band as well, so it was like, but it was one of those. So when Warman was on the tools back in the days as a builder, and Jimmy Neal was playing in the King Crabs, I think, band, he was on the tools as well. Alan was called Hammer, and Jimmy was called Nail. So it was Hammer and Nail. It was a nickname, that's all.
Really?
Yeah, and it stuck.
That's fascinating.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Did they use the Aloysius in Alfreda's in Pit?
I think
Because
they
I'm
did.
sure they did. They mentioned like his middle name.
Did they not change it? Was it not Cornelius? Or
No,
something, or-
because he was on stage and they announced it. It was like
When he did the country song.
when he did his country song, because it kind of
I
changed.
just can't be myself when I'm with you.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, because that's when it
Fantastic.
switched. And
How
that's,
does something so
Yeah.
beautiful come out as something like that?
but
Yeah.
we talked about that because we actually, I think we asked Tarquin about that. Like, did they write that in to the script? Because clearly he went on to have a music career after that.
Massively.
Like, he must have mentioned something about that into the show, and that's a good kind of turn. It's a good storyline,
Well, it's
isn't it?
good that the guy with the holy underpants that's just the worst
Exact-
Geordie ever
Yeah.
turns out to have the most beautiful voice.
yeah.
It's good.
It's
Yeah.
But he's the most heartwarming and the most representative as well. It's one of those. It's the loudmouth that kind of deep
Exactly.
down. He's got a heart of gold, isn't he? You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody thought he's not, that's just him. And I think to start with, it kind of was, but it was my favourite.
That was
If Oz
brilliant.
wasn't in the episode, you didn't really want to, wasn't the same, was it?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we can go on about it all day long. Even Barry as well. You go, Barry's like he's a well-renowned actor, but he played that so well.
Well, you thought he was from Birmingham,
You
didn't you?
thought exactly, but you thought he was like the dumbest guy in the room. But you were like, there was a reason why he's getting all the airtime because he's the best in the room. It's one of those.
He
isn't it?
was. He was fantastic.
He was fantastic, and now his son Tim and
It just
it's
goes
brilliant.
on, doesn't it?
Love
I think I might put it up there as one of my favourite programs. You know, I will watch it over and over again, and I still to this day.
Well, everybody
don't
was
think
in
it's
it, wasn't
aged
it? Everybody got to go.
Yeah.
Jimmy's sister was in it,
Yeah.
who was a lovely woman, and she
Who was she
opened.
then? Who was she then?
She was called Norma as well.
Was she called Norma?
Oh,
Was it someone's sister?
in the program
Oh,
show.
dear me.
Norma.
But
We're the Norma Vortex.
She's an actress in her own right. She was an actress before Jimmy got into the business.
Yeah.
Tends to play Geordie housewives, but
Yeah.
Right.
she loved the music fraternity, and she wanted to have a venue. So I don't know if you guys are aware of a bar called Butler's
I remember
on
Butler's,
Nunn Street,
yeah.
right? So does karaoke from 10 in the morning now. Everyone's drunk. It's about $1.50 a pint. It's,
What, even now?
Even now, yeah. But back in the day, Butler's. I hope
10 or
it's still
11
making
now.
it.
Get them trousers on there, Chris.
Yeah, doing Sister Act. That's it. But back in the day, it was pretty rough booze, and we used to play gigs there. But upstairs was a club called Quills, which was a bit refined, and it was Jimmy's sister had it. And as I say, lovely woman. I mean, her and her husband, Mac, I think he was called, used to sit at the end of the bar, and she would have one of them long cigarettes with the cheroot type thing, and we would play on the white grand piano with our best suits and ties on, Lady in Red and stuff like that, just any Elton John, just to keep the thing going. And at the end of every night, every gig that we did then, sometimes there was like 5 people. She would just put on if we'd in tips and would sit and watch Jimmy Nail's stuff and eat the buffet that was left over. It was just fantastic, you know. Oh, bless it. It didn't last long, but it was.
The club didn't.
Nah, it was destined to do above Butlers. The two crowds weren't going to mix, really.
Mad in it. The posh version. Upstairs.
Honestly,
Upstairs,
it was
downstairs.
phenomenal. Once took a bass player there and he saw the buffet and there was only 4 people there and his haversack was out and he was like taking flans into his...
What sort of buffet was it then?
Well, it was, beige.
Yeah.
I call it the
Sausage
sea.
roll.
It's the sea of beige. It's
Sea
just
of beige,
the sea
absolutely.
of beige. It just rolls through the
Bit more
room, doesn't
orange,
it?
bit more beige, bit more cream.
It's just it's 3 things on repeat, isn't
There's
it?
nothing green.
The sea of beige.
I forget the salad. Nobody wants a salad.
Yeah.
The salad's offensive in that situation, isn't it?
I think now they've upgraded. Like you get a chicken leg in now and again.
but
so,
it'll be beige.
Yeah, but it'll be beige. Yeah. You
It's
only
like a
cut-
classic working men's club buffet on a Sunday. If you go to a good club, they'll either have cubes of
Cheese and pineapple.
cheese or they'll have cubes of black pudding
Oh, yeah.
Not cooked.
That'll do. Raw.
I've because you've
or
seen
roast
done-
potatoes.
Yeah,
Just hand them round.
roast
You used
potatoes.
to get that on the top of bars. The
Oh,
pubs,
brilliant,
you
man.
get Yorkshire
Honestly.
puddings and cheese and black pudding.
If I had me time again, I'd do that. Could quite fancy opening a...
Who came up with the idea of like a hot dog with a pickled onion with a bit of cheese? It's kind of a good combination, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, isn't it?
Well, it's,
That's
you
your
know,
early snacker jack. Kind
You've got there's 3 things in there, isn't there?
yeah,
Veg, carbohydrate, protein. Oh, it's
full meal.
a canny mix.
I mean, it could have been accidental. Someone could have just fell over with a toothpick in my hands.
I went, oh, that's a combination. I'm just fascinated with combinations. How you discover the combination?
The thing with the silver foil in the middle that you stuck them in? What was that made of?
Oh, a hedgehog.
Oh, the hedgehog.
Ah, yeah.
But what was it made of?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, now we're
hedgehog.
going.
Nobody ever took that off.
It's
Yeah.
an actual hedgehog.
I was going to say it's yeah.
What was it?
Wasn't it an orange?
An
It
orange,
could have-
was
was
it?
it?
An orange
orange
wrapped
wrapped
in
in
fruit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, like a pomander in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
You know, like in your...
Oh, yeah.
You put like cloves in an orange and that.
Oh, all right. Okay, I've got you. Yeah.
You're not been to refined cloves before, like.
Of course not.
I never saw them in quills.
They were just
Downstairs with butlers.
they were just chucked in a bowl,
I'd be upstairs in quills.
floating in vinegar.
I'd just be down the top of the stairs, throwing your chicken legs down from quills. Like, have some of them.
Well, I told you, my mate we used to throw peanuts at him when he had a peanut allergy. But he had
See if you just blow up.
It was back in the day, the 90s, when you had turnips. And we used to call them peanut catches because they ended up at the end of the night, you used to get full of peanuts. It was great. It was good
Snack,
times.
handy trousers. Times of need.
I like your peanut catches. Yeah. Fantastic. So, yeah.
Good.
Back in the XR2 days, man. When
you-
you were in clubs singing, that's what we were doing. Throwing peanuts in weapons clubs.
Yeah. What interesting days, I've got to say.
Oh, man, it sounds like it. I mean, the tartan trousers story, it's phenomenal to this day. It kind of fascinates me, right? There's a brand new story I've never heard, which you think you've told all of them by now.
Yeah.
No.
But no.
He has more.
They come out the
I
woodwork.
had a very hopeless 20
I mean,
years.
hey, it's got your hair and it's very interesting. So
Well, you know what it is? When we talked the other day, just having a catch up, it was the most I'd learned about you in 25 years. Because we were always chat. We must do that, and we never do that.
But we're all... The thing is, though, because our worlds cross in different ways.
Yeah.
And I guess we're all a mix of different personas.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
of
you got
course.
to remember, the Metropolitan days, I didn't hang around for as long as everybody else because I left.
Well, and you were
I
on
went to Africa for a while and I came back and I travelled a bit.
you were on food missions and all
I
sorts
did
of
all
stuff, weren't you?
this stuff.
I
So I
remember.
was dipped back in.
he was on
Like
Life
the irritating-
Discovery.
No, the irritating
Roger, that's what
Jordan.
it is.
He was,
back in that.
yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
And beads.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
The leather strap.
Back for a couple of weeks.
He thought if Jimmy can do it, I can do it.
You had what we used to call your travelling shoes.
So what would our hammer and nail be?
Hammer and nail. Oh, I don't know.
You'll have to
Tongue and
think of
groove.
I told him
Tongue and groove. Very good.
cheese and pickle, something like that. It's got to be food related, hasn't it?
There's a good outside catering company called Cheese and
Cheese
Pickle.
and Pickle.
We supply them.
It's a good one, isn't it? Yeah. It's too many, man. It's like band names.
Let's catch my breath a second.
I'm just waiting because you're having a good old catch up, eh? I'm just sitting there enjoying this.
As I say, we go back to Metropolitan, which was 97, and Sean eventually turned that into Barluga, which it is now, and a bar. And he always wanted to be a brasserie that open all day, but it was 180 seats, and it's a lot to fill. in Newcastle.
I mean, I felt at the time, I mean, I'll never forget the split shifts of the weekend. It was not, I've never, because my schooling and food started with Terry.
Yeah.
In Bistro 21 in Durham.
Yes.
And as a kid, I wasn't interested in food. I just wasn't.
No.
It wasn't my
Wasn't
world
top of
at
the
all.
agenda, was it?
But it definitely, I've said this to Terry loads of times, left an imprint in my head from a standards point of view.
Yeah.
But Metropolitan was the catalyst, because I remember being around people, and it was, what was clever about it was food that I recognised to a degree.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So because it was brasserie food, it didn't feel alien.
It wasn't Michelin star, but it was very
it was
creative.
refined.
It was very tasty.
Yeah, it was.
And different. And do you remember the opening night that did a 10-course tasting menu? So probably the most ambitious thing you've ever done. 180 seats, all invited guests. It's all free, all the drinks free. And they're going to do 10 courses, and we're going to get 10 courses out to 180 people.
Yeah.
I mean, in hindsight, that's just madness. Oh, and it was fancy dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was just the maddest night.
But it was, I remember the nerves, like when I first went in there,
Everybody was rattling.
because I'd worked in bars,
Yeah.
and I went and got it was Paul Gorham was the manager at the time. Dave Myers had left. People that I grew up with, I knew Dave.
Yeah.
Because, in fact, actually, the girl who I was going out with, whose auntie was the Norma
Yes.
in the band, Dave was the uncle to that girl as well. Right?
Small town.
It is
Small
a small town, right?
Dave Myers, God. He was Terry and Malmaison, wasn't he? Back in the day.
Yeah.
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 In demand.
But I remember going in, my first shift, to go from working in rough bars on a Sunday, pouring scotch and that, and, you know,
Yeah. X.
and someone giving his waiter's friend, showing us how to open a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And I remember it was called, it was the private dining room at the top of the
PDR.
left, the PDR.
Yeah.
Then you had Tango,
Yes.
and I can't remember what the one of was on the right.
What was the big
Different
table in the front
sections.
called? The Goldfish Bowl.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
everybody wanted to be seen in the Goldfish
Then you
Bowl.
had the mezzanine upstairs that nobody wanted to work
Nobody
on.
wanted to be in the
It was
mezz.
a nightmare.
It's too hot.
It was hot. It was big.
It was vast.
Right. So we had this private dining room called the PDR. And it was maybe, 10 tables?
Yeah, about 40 seats, huh?
And it was, you had your own little station. You prep all your own butter pats. You know, you had everything.
Little still room
polish
and stuff.
Still room. You had to polish all your own glasses. And my first day, someone ordered a bottle of champagne.
Aye.
And I can't remember the name of the lad. He was called Chris, I think. One of the managers at the time. He went, go on then.
Yeah. Chris Geach.
Chris Geach. Go on. I went, what? Got to open it. And I was like,
I don't know what to do.
And honestly, I remember we wore sky blue shirts,
Yeah. Button down
Summer.
colours, yellow ties.
tie, and the sweat was pouring through me back.
Yeah.
No way you could hide it.
Aye.
And I had to go and do it. And I was just like, you know, some kids these days in this era would walk out.
Well, I mean, a bottle of champagne in there would be like a week's wages, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Get that wrong.
Yeah.
You're in
You've
the
done,
bin.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no HR department. It's
No,
done-
but I
it's
remember
done to come back as
stuff,
a-
like just things that you remember. I remember Poor, I remember L.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
little things because it was a high pressure environment because service was really important.
Well,
and some of the managers would pull you. I mean, I remember going in like this, and Paul would say, "Go home,
Yeah, get
or go to
sold.
the shop,
Yeah.
get a razor,
Fine,
shave,
yeah.
or you're not working tonight."
Some businesses are still like that, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it was about the standards, and, you know, he was competing ostensibly with Terry.
yeah,
Terry
oh, yeah,
had
totally.
21, and they were wanting to do brasserie food all day with more seats.
Yeah.
So if they got it right, potentially it was quite a threat to Terry,
Well, I
despite
remember
having
Terry
had a
come in
stall and all
sometimes,
that. Yeah.
Terry sitting in the corner.
Well, yeah,
I
well,
remember.
Nick had done a few shifts in 21 to get up to speed, coming up from Oxford. You get his sort of his gig feet, as it were, you know.
Yeah,
But the pressure was because you were all new. I mean, Leanne, Elle, all of them had never worked in restaurants before, and there's a documentary filming them. And Sean's from Oxford.
Yeah.
He's demanding these standards, and there's food that they've never heard of, and the wines are from a different quality. Lane
I mean, it was
Wheeler
amazing.
wines. And,
I mean, even like I ended up working on the bar, ended up running the bar, which I loved.
Aye,
I
it was a
did
good
that for
place
2
to be.
years. It was a really if you imagine
Tiny
like
bar.
like a hotel bar,
It was
tiny little
tiny.
bar was your own domain because it was built around you,
I remember you being there.
right? So you had to. I mean, you were responsible for the whole service of wine,
All the wine
cocktails,
went out of
coffees,
there.
everything for 180 covers, right? And I not remember that. I mean, that check machine on a Saturday night at like 10 to 11, it would just be like, right.
Nobody
But I
wanted to
remember little
leave.
things like they had a cigarette. Like obviously, still the smoking ban hadn't come in,
No.
so I had this little cabinet for cigarettes.
Yeah.
Even so, someone orders cigarettes to their table, right? Yeah, it was always Marlboros, right?
I know.
They had branded matchboxes,
They did.
and you had to feather the cigarettes out of the box
And
so that, like
open
your
the
fingers,
matchbox with one point
go
in it.
like that.
Yeah.
So you're offering one cigarette out the box, and you had to position the match so it was ready for them to use
Yeah.
on a saucer. And if it went out and something twisted over or fell over, and Paul saw it, you'd be like, take it back and sort it out.
Yeah.
Nothing was allowed to touch the table if it wasn't right.
Yeah, but it's kind of delivery, isn't it? Service. That's. But if you're putting that in place, then it has to be right all the time.
Oh,
But
totally. Mine had some nights out there, like after shift.
Oh, God, I know.
what was that? It was smoky. What was that mezzanine like? It must have been choking up there.
Oh, God, aye.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Was it just-
there was a couple of big ceiling fans, but aircon was too much.
Yeah.
So they didn't do it.
That was
So
high,
the
high
heat
seat,
went
yeah.
up and up and up.
It must be awful up there.
Oh, that mezzanine was awful, and it got you really flustered. You'd come,
You
on a
come
night
down
time,
high, didn't you?
and you'd come down. And I remember poor Elle once we were doing a wedding. I was thinking,
Was it not Jess's? Was Jess's wedding?
Was Jess's wedding?
Yeah, in there.
And Leanne was sorry. Elle had to carry a full. So you get your normal trays,
Yeah.
and you get the bigger service trays.
24s.
Elle had to carry
Flat
the
hand.
full, massive tray of champagne flutes. It's one thing if they're full because at least you've got weight,
There's balance. But when
Well,
they
empty,
clatter,
right.
they'll all go.
right? And you had what looked like sort of gymnasium style steps. Remember that sort of
Yeah.
wood steps up, round, up
Up and round, aye.
with the gaps in the middle. And she came down the stairs, and third step before she got to the turn, she slipped.
Oh, no.
The whole lot went up in the air. And I remember it was like raining glass.
Well,
The whole, like, as a.
you imagine what we were thinking. So it's my sister-in-law's wedding. So we're upset in case there's not been enough glasses, but we're also going, cha-ching. There's
Oh,
another glass order.
Yeah, totally.
Sean was the first guy in Newcastle to buy crystal, wine glasses, champagne glasses, red wine, white wine, dessert glasses, beer glasses. He had
Oh, yeah,
footed
yeah.
crystal pint glasses. It was the only place in town. They were £5 a pop. If you drop one of them, it's a fiver down the. I mean, beer was £3.
Yeah.
It was £3.50 for a pint of Kronenberg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. God almighty. Amnesia Lane.
Can I ask a restaurant-related question?
Yes.
You know the vest,
Which vest?
waiter's
Waistcoat.
vest. Like what's the? Because I was thinking, you know, you were talking about being sweaty and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Was that the reason? That's kind of was it, why? The
What do you
vest?
mean, like a-
why
like
would
a
a waiter
waistcoat?
like a waistcoat? Yeah, because it's a vest, isn't it? It's kind of classed as a vest. But
Yeah.
why a waistcoat? Like why was that introduced? Is that introduced as dress, or was that because of serving
I
that purpose
think it's
of
probably. I'm
not
guessing
saying a sweaty back?
I
do you
think.
know what I mean?
I mean, it might have done, but I think it's probably more a function.
Right.
You're carrying check
A
pads,
little pocket and
you're
stuff like
carrying
that, like
packets,
something you
yeah,
can
and a
hide
chest
and all
friend.
that. Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's classic French, isn't it? So,
Is it?
Yeah.
yeah. If
Okay.
you look at all the old posters, it's always
Yeah.
black to their 3-button.
Yeah.
But if there's a pocket, you tend to stuff it full of rubbish. It's like aprons as well. The stuff-
Chicken legs and that.
You end up with a bag full, and it's like, oh, I was going to do that, and yeah, I don't know. I think it does cover the sweat though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just,
it's
it's kind of everything has a purpose, and there's a reason for this, and why
Yeah.
people invent it.
Yeah.
Because it just goes, one person takes it, go, actually, this is a good idea, because it kind of eliminates these other problems that we have. Because that's what you do, don't you?
Yeah, it's just experience, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it is.
I'm going to call it swanxiety
Swanxiety.
because I used to dread spring to summer. I remember shifts coming up and going, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
Used to have techniques. In fact, I remember going back to Jess's wedding, having to go into the toilets multiple times just to take my shirt off and like dry yourself and put the shirt
Well,
back
you
on.
need-
Doing that to try and
You need to change, like being on stage, you know, and they kind of change the clothes halfway through. 'cause-
well, this is what we used to when we used to play Beerex. You mentioned Beerex.
Yeah.
Was formerly Sloan's, I think. It's the first wine bar in
I need to
Newcastle.
bring back the
And
vinyl
it was
beer on a
phenomenal.
Sunday was just
It was like a
outstanding.
Belgian beers bar that did frites and moule frite and all that stuff. And it
That
was
was
cheap.
ahead of its time as well.
Aye, and on a Sunday you got your hand stamped, and you could have a breakfast buffet all day. But people didn't. They had something, didn't they? And we would be on at the strike of 1 o'clock, I think. And we'd go upstairs to the ladies' toilets to get changed. And I remember you'd run up after the first set, soaking with sweat, and you'd hang your shirts on the dryers and press them and try and blow them out and get them to dry on the hand dryers, you know. In fact, Grace, that's just took me back. The day that Princess Diana died, do you remember this was the Sunday?
Yes,
it was the Saturday night out. We were playing Beerex and I woke up and put the telly on. I was going to bed. Do you think we should be playing this? This is kind of weird, you know. It felt weird, like the whole country was.
Yeah.
I said, well, look, we've got the van. The guys are coming anyway. Let's just go. It's just down the road. We lived in Jesmond at the time. So we set up and we thought, this is weird, you know. And the guy that ran the bar, strangely, for the first time ever, said, look, I'm not going to hang around today. I don't think it's going to get anybody in, so I'll pay you now. So he paid us. We went upstairs to get changed and came down, did the first set. Great. Crowd were loving it. I said, I know it's a bit weird, guys, but hey, let's just go for it, you know. Came running back upstairs to get changed and somebody had stolen all our money. I was like, oh, I can't believe that. So as we came back down, I said, look, on a day like today, when it's all a bit weird, you know, it's just a shame that someone's stolen the money that, you know, for the gig. If anybody knows anything about it, just let me know. And one of the bar staff put a hat round. I think we got 3 times what we were paid in that, which is terrible. But it was memorable for the fact that we'd done the gig and then somebody had stolen the money. We never got paid before. Yeah. You always got paid afterwards. Yeah. And the mistake was leaving your wallet upstairs instead of having it on stage where it would get soaking wet.
Yeah, of course. That's a bit tasteless, what I'm going to say now. Just give me an idea. Whenever we do a next live thing, we should just tell people we're paid what was being stolen.
Pull a hat out.
We'll put our payment check in the green room and it's gone.
Chris, we used to do it at a pub called the Wooden Doll on the quayside on North Shields.
Yes. So yes.
Yeah.
Mate, that pub, that's the pub I showed you.
Oh.
And I said...
It's called something else now.
It's beautiful. With the green tiles on the outside.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Oh, that's the Wooden Dolly.
Is that the Wooden Dolly?
That's on the quay. We were above the quay at the Wooden Doll.
All right, okay.
On Hudson Street. And
there's a wooden dolly and a wooden doll.
Yeah. The dolly's on the quay. The Wooden Doll was on the top. It's now called...
There's a lyric for you.
Like that's called. Yeah. Well, it was one of those, like a Sunday lunch pub or whatever, with beautiful views all over the fish quay and stuff. But the guy that owned the Diamond in Ponteland used to regularly kick us out for singing in the bar. And he says, I've got a pub down North Shields and it's got a grand piano. Do you want to play? And I went, aye. So Ben brought the hi-hat down and I would play the grand piano. And would start every Saturday at 9 o'clock with It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday by, Billy Joel, Piano Man. And we got 40 quid, so it was 20 each. Less petrol, less couple of pints of John Smith's or whatever. And I was like, oh. So we'd put a hat round. We'd nicked a hat from some function at Moe Chandon, ice bucket hat. And various friends would come down and take the hat round. So a guy called Mick, we'd call him Mick the Hat. Or Dave Reed, Dave the Hat. And you'd put it round, and honestly, we'd get like 150 quid in the hat. And we're getting 40 quid for the gig. Yeah. And we'd sit at the end of the night counting the coins, like proper misers going, can we change that in the notes? And then we'd go home. And eventually, I think we got them up to 100 quid because we'd fill the room.
Yeah.
And it was a great night. 10 years we played that gig every Saturday night. 10 years
solid?
10 years. I think we had the odd week off for our holiday, but it was 10 years. And that's where you got all your wedding functions, you got all your private gigs. And that's where Chas walked into the back of the room and with Madeline, his wife, and went, you two, I want a word with you. And it was just because it was full.
What did that feel like when he approached you?
Well, it was weird because he's about 6'6".
Is he?
So it's not often I go like that. But I went like, hello. And he used to wear these big black Air Force jackets, him and Madeline. Mm-hmm. She famously used to say she was 5'12". Big size, 9 feet. She's beautiful. Miss UK, right. 77. 6 foot woman, but Chas was enormous. And he just, hiya fellas. And he would sit and chat to people like, we know who this is. And it was never, until we'd had a few pints with him, and then he'd been in the gig van 150 times a year and thrown up. Or, then we became pals,
Of course, you got to be in the trenches with somebody, don't you?
Oh,
to find out who they are. It's a fascinating life, isn't it?
But it must have felt like a complete sliding doors moment, that.
Yeah,
for someone of that.
Totally.
Like, it's so notable.
But we've asked this before because the same as Barry Hyde as well with the Future Heads. It just takes that one gig. Somebody walks in and then they pick you up and then off you running.
Well, he did, and I think it was 7 years we worked together. And then he would bring, Johnny Steele, who was the drummer in the Animals, he would play. Hilton Valentine, who was at that point a porter at the Coast Road Motel, he would come and play guitar, and they were just so solid. And he was playing in a band called the Alligators, and we did a couple of double headers with them. But Chas kind of culminated in, we did a football single with him, with a Steve Graham band called The Lads Are Hot. Number 64 in the charts.
Did it?
Oh, aye. We're in a HMV window for about 3 weeks.
Oh, yes.
Big poster. I'll dig you a copy of it. It's hilarious. Look it up, because you'll see me on the front with a silk waistcoat and the long black hair.
Nice.
And the whole football team.
Yeah.
So,
No way.
Yeah, we had to go for a photo shoot. And Lee, what was his second name? Great striker. Lee.
What
young
era?
lad. 90s. Keegan era. God, I'm hopeless with names. He went on to play for Sunderland as well. I think he had a management career too. He's not long been out of the game. Lee. Anyway, he couldn't make
Lee
it.
Clark.
Lee Clark. Right.
Right, okay.
So Lee couldn't make it to the photo shoot because he was doing his driving test that day. So,
Again, you know what I mean?
right, so,
What's more important? Just right.
so if you look at the single, you'll see that they've airbrushed him in. And he's on his own, sitting cross-legged.
Completely different lighting.
Oh, it was fab, man.
That is fantastic.
It was fab. We had them, all the guys were singing in the lift shaft at High Level Studios, Lindisfarne's studios. The lads are hot. You've got to listen to it. It's great, man. It's got Kevin Keegan in it, John Hall. It's got all the names in it. It's just fantastic.
I mean,
Like,
I've never heard of it.
I've got to listen to it today.
Honestly. Well, if you want to see, there's a copy of it in the...
Not you looking at it already.
What's
What's the name of the pub next to the football ground?
Strawberry.
The Strawberry.
Strawberry.
If you go in the Strawberry, on the right-hand side bar, it's on the wall.
Right. Aye.
The lads are hot.
Yeah.
Number 64.
You need to bring that back together.
Yeah.
Well, the lead singer's in South Africa. He's got a great career. He's doing really well. But Chas recorded us there with them, and then we did a couple of demo tapes, and we got a couple of guest artists to play on it. Yeah, you know Lorraine Crosby?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the Meatloaf singer.
Yeah.
Phenomenal singer.
Yeah.
She's not related, as it turns out. Just called Crosby.
Actually, I never even tried to connect those dots. And I just thought,
Well, we did a single called "Glad All Over," which was the old Dave Clark 5.
Dave Clark 5,
yeah.
yeah.
So Chas rang Dave Clark, who's still alive. I think he was
as
still
do,
alive at the
just
time.
looking, but Dave.
Dave, I've got a bunch of lads wants to do this song. Yeah, no problem. Chas had a nickname for him. He was called the Gargoyle because he'd had so much plastic surgery done in the 60s, and it all started to slip.
Oh, no.
And his face just looked poor sod. Can you imagine?
Googling that later
I
on.
know. So Lorraine did a single with us for that, and we did a pop video at some studios with a guy called Royston Mayo,
Right.
who used to produce The Tube.
Okay.
Aye, phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
So all that makeup and, like the tells and take 1, take 2, take 3, and we're all miming, which we never did.
Yeah.
Which was weird trying to lip sync when all you've done is play live. That got nowhere. And then we went back into the studio and did Ben's original stuff. And Chas put that out, and we started getting some interest. We got a guy called, I'll never forget. He said, get a gig for Saturday night. I've got this producer coming up, Larry Page. I went, Larry Page, what was his last? He said, Lovers All Around by the Trogs. And I went, that was like 1964, I think was his last hit. Okay, so Larry's come to see you. And this pair of glasses walked through the door, like massive, bigger than Michael Caine, enormous glasses. And he sat and looked at me, And it was like, oh God, what's Larry going to do for you? He needs a nursing home. He doesn't need a rock and roll band. But again, the rules of rock and roll. Yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that. Come back to me when you're busier. This gig was rubbish,
Is that what it was like?
Basically, he came to our flat to watch
But
me rehearse as well, So that put me in another place. But Chas had lined up a gig. We did a mini tour of London, and then we went back to do a thing called the Tilford Festival, which was based in this beautiful little village in Surrey. And we'd done it before, and we were headlining, with the big band in a marquee with hay bales and a barbecue over there. And they were doing helicopter rides to the race course and bringing you back in a flash car.
That's fantastic.
Oh, it was magic. But I sat there, and the whole band was sitting. We were all sitting, killing time to get on, not having a pint, because apparently there was an A&R guy coming and, had to be on the money. And the rest of the band said, "Should we go up in the helicopter?" I says, no, you know what happened to Stevie Ray Vaughan? Eric Clapton stayed on the floor, I'm staying here. And they all went off on the helicopter. I thought, I'm never going to see them again. Anyway, they came back. Chaz's son was there, Chas Chandler, and he was supporting us, And we saw a guy that was watching every move while we're playing, So you're kicking the leg, you were doing loads of hand stuff. We're doing all the cues. We never missed a beat, which is bang, bang, bang. Original songs interwoven into covers, the whole thing. Got off soaking with sweat. We thought, well, we've nailed that. But the guy disappeared, so we didn't know. And Chas couldn't make it. He was in hospital that night. He was still in Newcastle. And he'd rang with some story, which I won't repeat on the podcast, but it was quite earthy. So we thought, he's getting better. It's great, And the next morning, phone call came in, and it was Chas Chandler. I thought, it's going to be news of this. And our guy says, "Chandler, how are you?" And he goes, "Bad news, Rog. Dad's dead." It was like, And he was our manager. He was our producer. He was our recording guy. And we just didn't know what to do. We're like, kind of that's what we do now. Without Chas, we just don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's your lifeline, isn't it?
And it was, and he was the link to it going anywhere. And this guy from EMI or whatever. And it didn't go anywhere. And there was no follow-up. And we kind of just drifted off into playing weddings and taking the money. And it wasn't quite the same. We lost that drive and the energy because there was no one saying, "Yeah, that's great. Come on, let's record it. Let's put it out. And it's a shame, actually, because I think there was something in the stuff we were doing.
Yeah.
And obviously we were performing all the time.
I was going to say, do you have any regret for that? And was there ever a point where you were hoping between all of you that it was going to be the thing that you all focused on 100%?
I think 1,000%. When you're on stage, the thing I discussed with Ben, and put it down to is a bit like our dad starting the business when he was a young kid and, being one of 11 in Byker with no money and no shoes.
I do want you to talk about that, by the way.
I will do. I think when you've got nothing to lose, you give it 1,000%.
Yeah.
And maybe we got to the point where, Ben was a pro golfer, I was a bank manager. We maybe had something to lose and you didn't quite.
Yeah.
If you commit, if you've got no escape, then you do it. And I think that was probably the difference. I don't know. When we're on stage, we're giving 100%.
Yeah.
But we should be saying yes to gigs 7 nights a week, not 4 nights a week because we've got a day job.
Yeah.
You can't hedge your bets. You've got to go, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that was it.
Yeah, but it's circumstance as well.
Yeah.
Chad, that happened in that time, and then that just falls off, doesn't it? Because you're going uphill on momentum, aren't you? You kind of, this is going somewhere.
It's going, yeah.
And then you kind of hit the top, and then it just all falls apart. But it's how you deal with that. I think that's where that's what life's about. It's when you're dealing with that and how you approach that after that.
Well, we were very lucky because we had seven years with Chas, but we also in our band was Nigel, who you remember, Jess's dad,
yeah,
who played with Alexis Corner. He was in the Animals. He was replaced by Hilton Valentine. He was in Brian Ferry's first band. He was replaced again. Every band that he was in, he ended up being replaced, and they went on to make millions. But he was, without doubt, the best sax player I've ever worked with. A musician beyond belief. A jazz player, a rock player. He played beautiful piano, cocktail piano. Play anything, blues, boogie. And he was with us all that time. And whilst Chas kind of said, "Look, you need to take a back seat. We need to get some younger people in here, and we've got a guitarist instead of a sax." But he was replaced again, unfortunately. But in the meantime, those two guys were building Newcastle Arena.
All right.
So we were sitting every night waiting to get in the van and go to the gig, and we'd meet with Chas and Nigel. And they would have like a box of cornflakes and a Coke can on the table at the Collingwood and Jesmond and going, "Right, we'll get the roof sponsored by Coke. And this will be a Weetabix tin at the front." And because Nigel was an architect, I've actually lent them some money as a bank manager to buy the land. It was wasteland. Honestly, it couldn't have been weirder. And bless them, within 2 years of Chas dying, Nigel died as well. Again, at about 56.
Right.
But what they did leave in the wake of that was they built the arena, and they had a box as part of their deal for 10 years. So Ben's family, Jermaine and Jess, and Chaz's family, Madeline, always had spare tickets. So I think we watched every gig for about 5 years on the belt. You know, David Bowie opened the show there.
Yeah.
Blur. God, I can't think of them all. They take that. All the bands were out at the time. Oasis played there. Everybody played.
Yeah.
We saw some shows with them while they were still alive. I remember famously, who was the guy? Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Chas says, "Look, guys, you've got to come and see Neil Diamond." I'm going, really? Is he relevant to us? You know? He says, "Listen, he's a professional." So we're like, "Oh, well, there'll be something to learn." And it was, money talks, he was doing the thing. And he would stop and go, "I can't hear you." And he would start again, and all the hands in the air. And Chas says, "This is just schmaltz. Go on, let's get out of here." I mean, he's great. He's a great songwriter and great guy in the day, but it was like, this is just schmaltz. It was just going round and round in circles. Repeat, clap, repeat. Oh, God. But no, bless them, they did leave us that, and we had that sort of the legacy, really, of watching everything that was at the arena. And if you wanted to pick up from it stagecraft-wise, that was the place to watch it, watching all those bands at that stage before they went stadiums. Yeah. So the purpose of that arena was 10,000 seats, whereas most of them were 20 or 40.
It's still 10,000 now.
Still 10,000 now, yeah. And it meant, they called it the Flat Pack Arena because it was only 10 million quid to build. Well, it meant any city could have an arena, and they were going to roll it out across the country. Didn't happen.
Well, we're going to have an arena, aren't we? Apparently, in Gateshead.
Sometime.
Yeah, it's been
eventually.
Approved.
Just you mentioned like regrets and stuff like that there. But Roger, obviously you get to a position later in life when if you're successful and you've had a good life, you look back on going, that was exciting, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So you can't really, because you're connecting so many dots here, and if you didn't do one, it wouldn't lead to the next, and it's
you can't
it's
say
fascinating
regrets,
life. You've had an exciting. That was an exciting period, wasn't it?
It feels like it was exciting.
It's also lovely as well that you and your brother are still like that. And you've actually carried that career on. And that's what I want to go back to. So
sure.
We've missed the whole origin story of that bit because we talk about music.
Yeah.
But, you've got your job as a bank manager. I met you as Crosby's.
Crockery salesman, yeah.
And I mean, it is. It's how we met. And I remember going to the old site, and I remember your dad.
Yeah.
I remember being obsessed with white plates.
Well, it was
the old curiosity shop.
It was a canvas, wasn't it? Blank canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Dad had China shops when we were kids. So retail shops, Whitley Bay, Tynemouth, Wickham. So we would work in the shops when we're 5 and 6 Saturdays, selling thimbles and little glass baskets and jewjaws and rubbish, really, basically. I remember one day standing we had grandfather clocks as well. And this woman came and said, I just want to hear a chime. She had a shopping bag, headscarf on. And instead of winding the thing forward as an 8-year-old, I stood and waited for the 15 minutes till it went.
15 minutes of awkward silence.
I was just going, so you've been shopping yet? Can I show you these thimbles? But that was kind of his first time at it. And then he went out of that. We sold the shops. Whitley Bay died. The Metro came. Everybody went to town. So we sold the shops, and he went into various businesses, had car showrooms and all sorts.
So Dad was always entrepreneurial, wasn't
he just kept trying, keep throwing mud at it and see if it sticks. And I think one Christmas Eve he was working for a so-called friend who came and let him go on Christmas Eve. And he was sitting with a packed lunchbox, and 2 kids and a mortgage. And he went, this is it. So he went to the bank that I then went to work for, and I think he borrowed $5,000, $2,500 for an orange Transit, which was class, and $2,500 for stock. And he would drive to Stoke, fill the van with stock, try and sell it and double the money. And, it was seconds, so it was still cheap. And he would just go round and round and round in circles. And he eventually, the garage would be full of stock. Then we'd have to get a tiny little warehouse. And then my brother joined. He left pro golfing and joined Dad because he needed someone to drive the van and pick the phone. And he only had the mobile brick. Remember that?
Yeah.
About that big. I'll never forget, he got the van sign written. And we're all standing looking at this van on the drive going, hey, Dad, that's mint. And it says, oh, hang on. That says glassware, like glass you can wear. As opposed to... It was like that for 15 years, you know.
Was it really?
Yeah, I bought the van after him, and we put the Crosby brothers on the bonnet and just drove around with it. Oh, bless. But yeah, I was told you I was bored. Not bored, but I'd kind of gone as far as I could go in the bank for a while. And I thought, right, I said, Dad, look, Ben and I have just got a flat, you know. The mortgage is like, $700 a month or whatever. Can you give us 1 month's salary? He says, I'll give you a month. And that's it. And I thought, I never sold a plate before. Well, not since I was 4.
Yeah.
It was like, okay. And, Ben took us to a couple of places and we got a couple of deals. And very quickly, we found it was just a people game. People buy off people. Mm-hmm. They trust you. Dad was getting good stuff. So I said, look, this is stupid. Just you do that. Why don't we just share the roles? I'll do some purchase and we'll do handwritten ledgers. We had no computer. We had a word processor if people wanted a letter. But we wrote the invoices, then we wrote them in a ledger and did the statements and then mailed them out with a stamp. No. It was great, man. Everything was so analog.
Yeah.
But you knew where you were,
Yeah.
The first year's turnover Dad did, I think, 100 grand. And
From that 5 grand?
From that 5 grand, yeah. And that was one man in a van trying to sell 2.5 grand as many times as he had to, 40 times. And it was like, right, well, what are we going to do? And we got it from that first year with Dad and then Ben and then Dad's twin brother and then me and then our cousin on computer and then my wife, then Ben's wife, then my mum. Yeah. And eventually there was 12 of us all called Crosby, all working in the business. But not to get caught up in it, but we managed to get it up to a good level. And we're really, the fun of working with your brother and your dad was the best,
Did the passion, because you were like a knowledgeable supplier, like people come to you for that reason.
Yeah.
Did you develop a passion for it?
I think the hospitality trade, as you know, Chris, is something you can fall in love with. And we were, when Heidi and I were in the company and Ben and Jess were in the company, we were out every night. We got the opening of an envelope. You got invited to everything. Mm-hmm. So we were going out all the time. But we got passionate about the product because customers like Sean, like Terry, who are all about the detail, want a certain thing. And it was like, it's got to be this. The rim's got to be that. It's got to be that deep. I want the sauce not to go over it. I want a salad to be here. And it was their canvas. They painted with their food. Yeah. So we had to be as good on the detail with what they wanted. I want red wine, but I want a white wine. I want to get my nose and I want to be able to swirl it and I want height. I want to, everything mattered. The cutlery had to feel, is it heavy enough? Is it too heavy? There's a perception that heavier means dearer, when in actual fact, the lighter hollow handle stuff's twice as price.
But how did you go from professionalising? So your dad started off filling a van full of stuff and doing
seconds and cheap cutlery.
So how did you go from building the knowledge base up in the business?
I think it was not accidental. We seemed to just want to know. You don't want to get there to the customer and they know more than you. So we went to every trade show. So you would go out to London to Hotel Olympia. We'd go to Frankfurt. In latter days, it was Milan and stuff because it's where the biggest shows are. And we'd do the Gateshead show and we'd learn from the manufacturers. The manufacturer would come in, they'd go out with you and they'd tell you about their entire range and you'd get embedded into it. You'd memorize their price list and how much a cup was and, and the origins of it. And it started to get excited because remember when we had China shops, we would go down to Stoke every week on a Wednesday in the van with Dad and fall asleep in the van, get there at 6, load up the van and come back. And you would get a feeling for Stoke where all this stuff was made. Yeah. So you were you did feel tied to it somehow. And you can't get passionate about it.
Oh, completely. When you work in that industry, I get excited about butter knives. Like,
But
you do though, don't
They're
you?
cute, yeah.
Yeah.
there's lots of cross connections though. It sounds like I'm like, you're the producers for these are
Yeah.
the bands, the chefs of the bands, and you're the producers to kind of help them.
You're giving them the
create
tools,
their-
yeah.
Well, it kind of is.
Like the engineers.
And the band, you're like the team in the van going down, and it's like a band driving down to get the cutlery or the furniture. It's very much similar.
Honestly, it did feel
you
like
know,
that, 'cause
and
we-
you're traveling, it's exciting, and you meet new people. It's nightlife. It's this, it's that. Do you know what I mean? And
It couldn't have been any better. I think with Dad's orange van with glassware on it, you know, we bought that when he needed a new one for the business and with run the band and that. But we would go to a gig, say it would be a marquee, and it would be a wedding somewhere, and it would be so we'd know the marquee company. Sean and Marford Smith, who later bought our Crosby Hire business, would be doing the bar. Her dad, Peter Marford Smith, so Town and Country Bars. The catering would be John Adamson. So he would be doing the food, and we would be the band and the seller of the plates and the glass and the crockery hire and and it was like we've got to
The Marvel universe.
to do the whole thing, you know. And it was because John would still be in those days. John was standing in his dinner suit in every marquee, counting the cash, making sure the service was perfect. Someone in the kitchen sending it out. The drinks would be great. We would go on cue, would do a sound check. You know, weddings were hard because there's never a good time to set up because they're in there from 12 o'clock at the wedding breakfast and they never really leave. And like, you know, can you just go and hide for 4 hours over there and then spring out and be lively? And But yeah, we're getting it sort of wrapped all up in one. And it was exciting. It really was exciting. Every Saturday night in a van going somewhere, what's it going to be like tonight?
Yeah.
And the band crack, you know, the other guys would be just musicians, purely musicians, professional musicians. That's all they did. We'd be talking about business all day, and then we'd go, right, first set, give me some love, bang, you know. It was a bit like that, you know. We'd switch into music mode from crockery mode. But yeah, when looking back, actually, you've made a good point there. Looking back, it's exciting. At the time, it was just, well, this is what we do.
it's what you do. But because I'm just thinking I'm just saying what you're doing now and going, all right, okay, I can just picture it. And I can see the crossovers and I can see you enjoying yourselves, but you're creating your own universe, you're creating your own world, and then you cross them together. But it's the attitude that you have, that's what's driving all of this forward. Do you know what I mean? Because you could have easily went, I can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean?
I think
there's lots of people out there just go, it's not working, and get downplayed. You go, no, we'll pivot. You're pivoting all the time.
Just keep going. I think, you know, kids today, when I was listening in that coffee shop in the big queue, and they were talking about needing to go to get back and connect with the outside because, you know, we've been desensitized by pandemic and serving one person every 15 minutes and there's 20 people standing there. When I was a kid, it was like bang, 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 bang. And you had to work fast and you had to work hard and you had to be full of energy and
consistent all
every
the
time. Yeah.
So having to work quicker was never an excuse for dropping your standards.
No.
That was the thing.
You just got to be good and fast.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, there's an excitement about being there. For me, you should be able to do it with your eyes closed. Then that's when your skill levels are, you know what you're doing, and then you can kind of
It's just muscle memory, isn't
a little bit of chit chat over here while you're doing the other thing, and that's the enjoyment, is having the chat and having the discussion and getting to know people and doing the things just in action. That's all it is.
That shouldn't be complicated.
No, because it's like it should be second nature to you, but that's fun because then you're in the flow, you're in the pocket. Do you know what I mean? And I do like that.
Well, we had a best mate, still got a best mate. He's still around, Mick Sewell, who had the Hustler Pool Club. Do you remember?
All right,
It's
Hustler,
just closed this week. His brother took it on to the next bit. It's closed, yeah. They're pulling the building down.
Which one?
Is it because it Pearl Assurance House or something? It's the big thing just behind what was Madison's nightclub.
I know what you
that
mean.
big building there, on the other side of John Dobson Street.
Yeah.
But Mick, when he came back from working on boats and, you know, in hospitality, would work behind the bar at the Hustler, and he would have the regulars. He'd have a pint on. He'd be chatting to that one. He'd see somebody coming over there. There'd be another one there. Click, 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 and it was all switches. And he would serve. He would be like an octopus with 9 arms, but he would never stop talking.
Yeah.
You know, the crack never. People came in to watch him work at that pace and chat, and it was like, well, that's what you should be given.
You're creating an environment and culture.
Absolutely.
That's what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? But you can enjoy that, and that's the fun.
But it's also how you fast track people's learning. I mean, like, I'm terrible with numbers, but I'll never forget my first bar shift. And like,
Click.
it's just unbelievable. I think people think you're just exaggerating what it was like, but I remember working in a bar in Hebburn when I was 17. I told them I was 18.
Yeah, well, you got to lie.
You know, I had sideburns and that.
Of course,
There we are.
14,
Right.
do that.
You know what I mean? But I remember then going to work in the old O'Neill's at Central Station
Oh, I know it, yeah.
when I was 18.
Wow.
You see, like, you don't see bars like that anymore. I remember, you know, even using a card machine and that, man, it wasn't there.
No.
You know, not in
Well, you
its-
had to
not-
know if
it
people
wasn't
took cards in
prevalent.
those days, didn't you?
Yeah,
You
it
went in
wasn't
with
prevalent.
cash. Do you take cards?
Yeah, you always thought it was
Slide
cash
machine.
first, right? But having to stand in a situation on a Friday night,
6 deep.
a mixture of people that are completely half cut, been out all day, people that are stone cold sober. It's 6 deep, it's 10 wide.
Aye.
There's 3 staff on, and you're taking that person's order. You're adding it up in your head. You're taking that person's order. You're starting that order. You're taking the cash off that person.
You're also
doing it all at once.
mentally making a queue, because if
And
you get the queue wrong,
Yeah.
Oh, you get your head kicked
this
in.
guy's going to pull you over the
Yeah.
bar. Yeah.
I've seen him. He's looking angry. He's been standing there for ages. Nobody else is getting him. I have to pick him up. It's, I mean, the multitasking.
But that
I
seemed to
put
be.
kids in there rather than the TA.
It seemed like
That's what you-
that was the way. But you're right. You're creating an atmosphere and stuff. And when we ended up in the crockery business and the cutlery and light equipment and then heavy equipment, it was about service. I think having the variety of product that people wanted to choose from, and being able to discern their need as opposed to what you wanted to flog.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's always a good mix of that.
Yeah,
You had
it has
stuff
to,
you wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
sell, but then the only thing that separated you out, because there wasn't as much competition when we started, there's a lot now, was service. And you built everything on service. Never let anybody down. Yes, I've got a warehouse key. Yes, it's Sunday night. Yeah, we'll go and get some gear. And you know, Sean was a good example of how we went from small venues with 40 covers and you know, box of glass, box of cutlery, da 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 da. Suddenly he's got 180 covers and it's 300 plates, 300 this, 300 that. And it was our biggest order.
Yeah.
At that point. I thought, oh, that's a lie, actually. My dad got the crockery for Aston Villa Football Club.
Oh, really?
I don't know where from. I think it was from the manufacturer. Because I know why. Because he said they had a load of old crockery. He says, I'll take it all in part exchange. I'll give you 10 pence a bit. Well, I had about 12,000 pieces. So it was like, oh, yeah, go on then. So he did the deal and we got 12,000 covers of this crockery, which was called Ophelia, a steelite Ophelia. And of course, that led to the inevitable jokes about Ophelia 10-inch and Ophelia jokes, which just became legend. You know, we said, do you want Ophelia jokes? No, it was just... But yeah, that was our biggest deal. Sean was the biggest deal we'd done to an independent.
Yeah.
And it kind of changed the nature of what we did. We said, we can be a one-stop shop. You know, we'll do your rubber coupe, your light equipment, your bits and bobs. In fact, on the back of Sean's glass steel, the first guy to ever have crystal in Newcastle in pints and halves, I got taken to Venice with a glass company for 3 days. I just moved in with Heidi, 6 doors away from Sean. As it turned out, he was in a big house, we were in a flat. And I went away to this glass factory in Venice, and it was like, because there was money in the trade then.
Yeah.
You know, people had the spare cash to take 12 guys to Venice for 3 days and wine and dine them and fly them back. That won't happen.
It's nuts to think how much that's changed. Yeah.
Well, every industry was the same, though.
Wasn't it?
It was completely
It
different.
was the
you
same
know?
in Bangor. You had lunches.
Yeah.
You went out
Yeah.
to 21 with
Yeah.
the advertising execs. And,
Yeah. That's
you know,
that,
it would be...
Yeah.
Well, places like 21, restaurants then relied on that trade.
Oh,
didn't
God,
it?
aye, the suits.
Lunchtime trade.
Yeah.
Banks and, yeah.
The lawyers in the suits. It was just... I remember sitting there, was Robson Brown, wasn't it, the advertising company?
Yeah.
I'd just gone into Barclays.
Well,
there.
that's the thing. I was going to say. It's like back
Yeah.
in the day, advertising agencies, that used to be a thing because it would never work on a Friday afternoon. They'd always cut it short. They'd
Written
make
off.
sure and it'd all write it off and put it on the bill for the client. And that's what we'd get paid for. Then just go, where should we shoot this? Oh, it's going to New York. Let's go. That's the decisions they'd make all the time.
What lifestyle do we want out of this?
Exactly.
That's the advert.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But it was all of that. But that's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Hey, they were good though. I mean, Robson Brown, we ended up gigging for them. We did their Christmas party for the staff and the summer party in their yard. And we did one of the guys' daughters' weddings as well. But there were great guys and they had some good campaigns. They did the advertising campaign for the Metropolitan.
Yeah.
And it was, I remember do you remember the whisk?
Yes.
With the egg inside it?
Yes.
It wasn't broken. It was like, I can't remember, you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was clever. And then the other one was the big white plate.
Yes.
Saying, you know, it's our canvas type thing.
Yeah.
They were good days, man.
It was the peak. The 90s was the peak.
Yep.
And then I came
Without a
on.
doubt.
That's the thing. I used to assist those people, so I've heard all those stories, you know, especially in London as well. It was just phenomenal.
I bet. I mean, times 10
Yeah.
in London.
Yeah.
It was the boom time for like Mezzo and 600 cover restaurants and all those places, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Baglinos.
Well, I worked with a guy called Mike Russell. He did like still life photography, and he was a great guy. He used to just lean in. He had his own studio. Just the heyday, he earned all of the money, right? And we're shooting it was a Pepsi can or something, or a Pepsi bottle. He spent like half a day just kind of lighting this thing, you know, on glass and all that kind of stuff. Everything's all about reflection, but you learn so much from just this glass
From
bottle.
the shot.
But then he used to just like, you know, romanticize about the stories, nostalgic stories of like, oh, down now. I remember on a Friday, but the best ever falafel I had down there.
Right.
Because he was like, Dan, we're going to get these falafels, the best ones you've ever had. But he was just really passionate. He was a really good guy as well, who'd been in the industry, because a lot of them weren't good guys. Do you know what I mean? Because I had a stinking attitude. But he's like, lad from the north, let's teach him like, you know, a few things. You know, he's just respectable as well. And he would lean into you like an uncle would. He was that kind of guy.
Had time for you.
Yeah,
you
had
from
time
those
for
guys,
you.
don't you?
But go, hell, we're going to get these. They're phenomenal. Best thing I've ever eaten. But that pickles and all sorts. It was just another level of flavour. I'm like, wow, what the hell is this? So I remember Mike Russell falafel, and then Coke can, and then all of these stories about
It's
the
coming
heyday.
back.
Yeah, but it's coming
Falafel,
back.
Mike Russell, Coke can.
He's like, Dan,
You
man.
would have a dream about that. Nice.
No, he's like, Dan. But he was like, Dan, man, you know, I was like 40 grand, man. Would you just knock off, buy 10, go to the pub, and then just unbelievable. Yeah.
But things like that happened in the 80s and 90s.
That's it, right?
Just,
Yeah.
you made money.
Yeah. But
Hey, there were sub stories too, but it felt like we could do anything.
it was unstoppable kind of thing, and they were writing their own checks, that kind of stuff. But everybody was in on it.
But you know, I think about this because as you get older, you think, was it then, or was it me then? So you know,
It's got to be a mixture of both. Isn't
I
it?
think so. But like, are the kids now who are thinking this is the best time ever, or is everybody down about the economy and the war and all?
Well,
I don't know, because I mean, we've gone through.
Never quite.
We'd had the crash '87.
Yeah.
I think
issues, you know.
I think you'd only have an issue when you hear these stories and you're not living that lifestyle now, because that's what'll miff you.
Yeah.
The same with bands. You go, well, you had 2 albums and now you don't have to work ever again, you know. But now everybody's gigging, and that's why like concerts are up 110 quid a ticket or something, because that's where they make the money from, and merchandise.
Merch.
But it is. And now it's like you take a chance and you might get picked up by everybody on TikTok. It just happenstance, a lot of it, and you don't know what's going to work.
It's a strange one, isn't it? There's a word, TikTok. So I went on TikTok in pandemic, I think it was, and I got what do you call it, COVID, and I thought, oh look, that's a load of rubbish. That's, you know, and I think I'd furloughed everyone from work, and it was just me. And then I got COVID, and I literally woke up feeling terrible. Went and got the thing, went to bed, and went, oh God, I'm completely gooshed. So I got locked into the bedroom upstairs. I said, give us my guitar, will you? So I took a guitar in, and I just fell asleep. And I woke up like I'd lost a day, and I would just be like talking and then doze off, you know. And I started to grow a beard, and I wasn't allowed out for 2 weeks, and there was pizza being slid under the door.
You didn't draw a face on a football.
I was going to say,
Wilson!
you woke up and you'd written a number 1 album, and you're sort of like,
And that was another dream. but honestly, bless him,
Wilson.
Wilson, exactly. Terry actually brought us a food parcel because he said, you're on your turn. So that was the best bits were nicked by the rest of the people in the house. Clearly.
Of course we are.
I got the dregs
under the door.
goose liver patty. But, but I started playing the guitar, and I hadn't really picked up an acoustic guitar for years, but I had nowhere to go. I'm sitting in a room, and I'm thinking, I didn't even have a telly. We didn't have a telly in there. So it was like, playing. I started playing, was it Layla? Dun, 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 dun. And then I wrote a song to it called Rona. I changed the lyrics.
Should just call her Norma.
Everybody's called
right.
Norma.
There's your homework, Roger.
Norma. Goodbye, Norma Jean. So, and I put it out on TikTok, and it got like loads of. I said, you know, any donations such and such to the nurses charity or whatever, and it did canny. It got about 1,200 quid or something.
That's good.
And it was inspired me to. Oh right, so you're allowed to have an audience even if you're not famous, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I can just.
Is that when you started doing your morning thing?
Yeah, so I would come into work, there'd only be me there, and I still woke up at 5 or whatever, so go to work at 6. There's nobody there, there's nobody coming. It's going to be alone all day. You've hoovered the warehouse, you've washed the windows,
Yeah.
you've gone underneath all the desks, the vans are mint. There's nothing to do, but the phone would ring once every couple of hours. So I'd get a keyboard out in the middle of all the stuff and play a song and post it, and people go, oh, I'm stuck on my own as well. You know, it's quite inspiring. Keep doing it, you know, keep playing a tune every Friday or whatever. So I did, and I think I got to, it was something like 1,500, 2,000 songs over a pandemic. Trying to think of another song
Amazing.
every morning, like, oh, go back in the 70s, 60s, you know. But it was great, and it kept me going, gave me something to do.
Yeah.
So I've kept it going. So what are we?
Oh, that's great.
5, 6 years now. I still put the odd one out on a Friday.
Sorry, I've just got to
know
notice.
what?
I've just got to laugh at myself. Every time I've said piano today, I keep on doing that.
Doing that. Piano. What's the international sign language of pianos? Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, what?
I was just going to say, you think I knew that story? That's why I asked the question. I had not a clue. I did not know. Well, I just.
You're
so
just a
happened to
good
mention
interview.
It, so.
Just open.
It's just,
give it a
I'm in,
question.
you know what?
Go.
I'm in the pocket. Because I haven't said
Ian Parkinson.
No, because I haven't said no for 40 minutes because I've been listening to
Oh,
your
I thought
stories.
you were
that's
reaching
all.
for. You are.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm holding.
Oh, hang on.
I'm holding
Well,
all
that's
back.
what
Savelloy.
Savelloy.
I made
was
a
definitely written by
schoolboy
VSA
error.
Jack.
Right, yeah. I can't even read that. I
You
can't
are
even
no
read me own
closer
writing.
to spelling Saveloy than you were at a 6.
Yeah. Where were you on the morning of
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now that you said Horton.
Horton?
Honestly.
Horton.
There was a guy in our street in Ponteland got arrested, and he was the double of what they eventually.
Aye.
Bless him. It wasn't him, like a Yorkshire accent, but you know, a lot of the deaths were in Yorkshire.
But now he's not. I know he's got a
Clear to
bad.
fame, though, isn't it?
No, that's he's got a bad nickname now. Hasn't he? He kind of walk down the street. Oh, Jack. All right, shut up, man.
I just lean into it, wouldn't you? Hey, people thought I was VSA Jack.
Oh God!
So menu, we're gonna read if you want.
You know
We're
what
gonna
I was
ask a few
going to study
questions
this, and I
later.
haven't.
Thought it
guys,
was meant to
so-
make it easier.
It's not meant to make it easy, no, because we need to add on. We've got a few questions we need to ask now. Man.
Aye.
We've got a responsibility here.
What's the responsibility?
What's the responsibility of asking
Suddenly I'm
specific
nervous.
questions?
Right, dim the lights slightly.
You know what? Dim the lights. I should have some specs on here. I should be like, I'm actually
Do you
going
want to borrow a pair?
I'm gonna actually do that.
Just do it.
That actually might work. You know.
Very focals.
Whoa there.
Wow.
Whoa there.
Do you need good eyes to see through them? Is that what it is?
Holy mo! Well, hang on. My eyes are worse, and then actually they've adjusted. I cannot say no. Cheers, Chris. Thanks. You've actually made us blind. I put the glasses on, so we've got. We're gonna change this. We're gonna ask you a couple of questions, reading off the menu here. We've got a new menu as well, Roger.
Excellent.
So we're going for number one. Our favourite, curry versus gravy. So this is a chip-based question as well.
Chip-based question.
It is chip-based question.
Well,
so
it's
yeah.
very easy to answer.
Oh.
In our household, I'm curry, and my wife's gravy.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it's always 2 pots:
right.
curry, gravy, and mushy peas.
Do you ever cross the streams?
Do you ever?
If there's not enough curry left, I'll have to have some gravy. Yes, she never comes across to the curry side.
Really?
No. It's
Never felt enticed at all.
I don't know. I think it's sensibility thing. Curry's not right with fish and chips, but it tastes great. I remember it being a kid, so I wouldn't have fish as a kid because it had bones in, and she was the same. We'd have like sausage or a pie.
Yeah.
It was a
And the
tail
gravy
end,
went with it.
yeah, it was different. It was which end you want, because sometimes it was you get bones on the tail end. Was
tail
that
end
right?
Did, and it was always
Yeah.
bony, and you'd like,
Aye.
and I would hate it. I
Yeah.
still hate food with my fingers, picking stuff out. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
If it's paella, I want it shelled. I don't be sitting doing this.
Oh, don't look at me.
Yes.
Don't.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked
Yes.
at that.
Blind
I'm
man's paella.
shocked.
Oh, it's too much crap, man.
Yes.
Look
Why
at your,
give
look at
me?
your face of
Yes.
vindication.
I
show
know.
me
Look at
one.
that,
Thank
honestly.
you very much.
Show
right,
me
you've
one
just
with all
made
the
his
shells.
year.
Take it away and come back.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect.
Blind man's paella.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
exactly. Why are you giving me more work? You're
Right.
just putting
Gonna
things
open
in a
that
bowl.
restaurant.
Yeah, blind man's paella. Yeah. So
We've
what?
got some winners here, Chris.
Right, come on. Right.
So what's your fish and chip order then? When you go on like curry?
Well,
Are you gravy, aren't you?
I'm curry sauce.
Oh, your
she's
curry
gravy.
cheese gravy. All right. okay.
These days, it's 2 fish, 1 chips between me, and a curry and a gravy.
Because you get a lot of chips.
Aye, too many,
Aye.
too fat.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't think anyone goes through a whole portion of chips. Every time the kids
too
have
much,
them, there's
too
always
much.
half left, but they still want them every single time. They
'Cause-
kind of just ask for a half portion.
As my mum always says after every single meal now, oh, I shouldn't have had that. And if you have all the chips, that's your first reaction.
I shouldn't have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's never enough curry though.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't think there's never
If
a
the
pot.
if they
Either it's
spoon
too
it
small
on-
or too big.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
if it's in a pot, it's not enough.
Are you dipping or you pouring?
I'm pouring.
You pouring.
Yeah, go down the shallow end.
Aye.
How do you mop up the excess curry from the pot? I have a technique, you see. I line my index finger with a chip,
Yeah.
Are you dipping?
go around the pot.
Well,
at
so
the end.
you had a
Dipping and licking,
technique.
like.
Yeah?
You were discussing with Catherine Tickell about your technique of spinning the
tasty
plate with your
bites.
thumb.
Tasty bite, huh?
Tasty
I use,
bites.
I use, I use
We were
that
hoping
the
that
other
would
day.
become like a segment of the podcast. Catherine Tickell's Tasty Bites.
I use that. the
Now
other day.
over to Catherine.
What's your thoughts, Catherine?
When that Taste of Northumberland event, I used that the other day. I walked away. He had it was Chris from Hummingbird. He had one bite in his hand. I was like, tasty bite. Thanks, Catherine.
We're going live
perfect,
to Judith
though.
on Novelty Island.
But I had a whole right. I saw Chris right. He's in one side and he was talking and he had the whole thing in his hand. It's like something on bread, right? So he's standing there like a canopy,
Desperately want to eat it.
talking, desperately want to eat it, right? And then I knew it. I just clocked it. And then he was talking for ages and then he still had it. And then it was 20 minutes later. Then I clocked him and he had one bite left. So I
Just
clocked it right. And
nibbling.
I was talking for like 15 minutes. I was like, I says, you're going to eat that now? I pointed out. I was a tasty bite and walked away from it. So yeah. Great.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Good. It's all about the time. It's all about the timing.
By the way, with an iron brew. If I can get one.
iron brew.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'm
getting
an
nine
Iron
brew,
Brew fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you vinegar, salt and vinegar? You going for that?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's free, I want it on.
If it's free, you want it on.
And was it scrunchions? Bits of what do they call it these days?
Batter.
Butter, scraps.
Scraps, yeah.
So,
Like
it's just
all kinds. We've debated that, haven't we?
I mean,
I mean,
that's all has to say.
not these days, but yes, originally that would be
Aye.
the order of the day. Like,
Yeah. All right. Cool. Lovely. Right.
I still want it. I think we'll get a really good answer from that.
Okay. What's your last meal?
Probably
Not this
not as
morning,
good-
but you know,
Probably not as good as Anthony.
Blade Man's Paella.
If you had only two courses though. Yeah, that's a think about.
Yeah, this is deep. Like, do you go back with your favourite meals? Do you go back with the meals you don't have?
But think of it as, some people go, I couldn't eat that. But imagine you can eat it all, right?
Right.
So
yeah,
you
okay, so
can
it
go
doesn't
full
matter.
portion of chips, doesn't really matter. You're not going to be bloated after because it's your last meal, you say.
Well, I think I would probably have. I've had, I rarely have meat these days in restaurants. I sometimes have a steak if that's the order of the day. But I love a bit of fish. I love a gorgeous bit of fish, just plainly cooked, grilled or big fillet like that. And I'd probably have that as a main. But food memories kind of would be my grand's baking and her cakes.
Okay.
So
yeah.
like when we were kids on a Saturday, we'd go to her house and she'd be baking all day. We'd go for tea. And it was like a tour of the Mediterranean. You'd have Madeira cake, Belgian loaf, Mallorcan slice. It was like
Our house,
ham
my
and egg
grandma's
pie.
on a Sunday,
So,
Sunday tea.
but Ben and I talked about this the other day when we were on holiday. Either chocolate cake or coffee cake.
Coffee cake.
Coffee cake. She would make it with what she used to call birds mellow. Not mellow birds, birds mellow.
That's mellow.
It was class. But yeah, her coffee. So I'd have a slice of coffee cake.
Going through the B-roll hit list.
Yeah, basically.
It is. Sundays.
I'm just thinking,
Sundays.
Everything was about heartburn.
Yeah.
Pies and pastry everywhere. Back to the beige
That's
buffet.
just
Beige
stuffed
buffet,
margarine like that.
Zero, full, lard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of lard, yeah.
Sponsored by diabetes.
Absolutely.
But there wasn't.
I know.
It kind of wasn't, I know.
Because there wasn't the prevalence of processed food back then.
I do think that's it as well. Because you had to walk the shop and go and buy
That's
it
it.
and all
Well,
that
my
stuff,
granddad would be, he worked in the pit as an electrician, so it was physical work. And when they came in, it was like big food, starch food that would fill you up. So that, ham and egg pie, It's not quiche for blokes.
Yeah.
You know, mince pie, a steak pie, corned beef pie,
Corned beef
a
pie.
cheese and onion pie,
Yeah.
old
The
pie,
thing about
plate
cheese
pies.
and onion plate pie.
Oh, she baked all day out of this tiny little oven, gas with an electric top.
My
And
grandma would always
The
gift
table
me.
would be full of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The glass bowl with a little bit of corned beef and potato left in it.
Oh man,
Do you want to have the rest of that?
it's
Again,
I think
it's like your chip technique. It was like,
you know,
Jewed finger.
yeah. I think it was the happiest food
Yeah,
memories
tip-top.
I've got
Yeah.
because it would be there with my mum. Would walk to my grand's at Clareville, would eat this food, and then it would be sad to say it. Jim will fix it. Followed by the Dukes of Hazzard. Followed by I don't know what. There'd be some other show, and it would just
It's
would
a
knock
knockout.
into the telly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was like, this is great. And then Dad would turn up from the shop or the car trade or whatever and pick us up and take home. But that food memory was like,
I can.
if he was late, we'd have to
feel
get a bath and have our jammies on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sit like, cool. Oh, it was
That
phenomenal.
resonates with so many people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can.
Well, the Dukes of Hazzard does, even today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Aye.
Totally.
Yeah,
It was a
for us
great
was-
show. The Pink Panther as well. Pink Panther.
Yeah.
But you used to have like multiple shows, you know, it was like the Fall Guy was on during the day, and then there was
Yeah.
the wrestling, and then on a night you'd have the A-Team, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Wolf.
So,
A-Team.
yeah, Wolf, all that kind of stuff. So
That was kind of I must be older than you two.
Yeah, a little
that
bit
was
of
coming
that.
towards the tail
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Oh, the wrestling with Dickie Davis and
Oh,
World of
Giant
Sport.
Haystacks.
Giant
On one
Haystacks,
side,
huh?
Haystacks,
Big
yeah.
Daddy,
Yeah.
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 That was wrestling to me.
Well, that was it.
Big
Yeah, yeah,
blokes.
same.
Huge blokes in
Yeah.
leotards.
Yeah.
Not pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's a great name for a band, that as well.
huge blokes and leotards. Yeah.
That's actually
Could be,
what
like
the
the
name.
Geordie, it could be like the Geordie version of Kneecap.
Yeah.
Slipknot.
I want to
Sorry.
ask that question because it's
Did
got
we,
context.
but hang on, did we actually get to the last meal there? Because we went
Was
down
it not
the road.
I'd love
In
a
the,
beautiful
sorry.
bit of fish and probably
Saturday tea.
a cake from me gran.
Coffee cake.
Coffee
yeah.
cake, yeah.
It was the mellow birds because it was fine. It was posher, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it had any flavour, but it made a good coffee cake.
It was just ground fighter. That's all it was.
It was just literally dust
Yeah.
in a jar.
But it kind of created a little froth on the top of it when you put the milk in
Like
as
a
well.
crema.
It was
pretend
more,
crema.
yeah. It was the fine powder that kind of made it a bit posher.
Hard water.
That was, yeah, it's like a working class latte, wasn't it?
Shake it. Go on.
You've got some ideas for a supper club going on here, mate.
Oh,
Hey, fish fingers. Yeah, we're going birds mellow.
I've got my nana's deep fried like chip pan chips.
Oh.
It was great, you know.
Oh, God.
Grand
Light,
like that.
but loads
The
of
little
fat
black
on the
bits in it.
Aye. There was always
was a couple of little
one
black
gnarly
bits
black
in
bit
there.
fell on.
Aye.
Aye.
What
was those?
Is that
Processed
potato
peas.
or
And the
tabash?
Findus savoury pancakes that were curry or gravy or meat filled or something.
Yeah.
Aye,
Those
those-
orange things
What,
in a
dangerous?
horseshoe.
Aye.
Terrible.
Well, dangerous for the skin in your mouth.
They would take your lip off, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Paella in a bag. Go on.
So,
Sorry,
right,
go on, for?
when I was away last week, right,
Yeah.
I felt a bit ashamed because I was with a really lovely group of people for that region of gastronomy trip.
Oh, yeah, I
to
saw that.
Croatia.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
we got asked to do like an icebreaker. We had to stand up and introduce the person to your right.
Okay.
Right, so you had to find out about that person.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was fun food fact. And I was like, I'm going to ace this. It's like a podcast. Right? So I turned and I was like, it was a lovely girl from Catalonia, right?
Right. Okay.
And I said to
fun.
her,
Kerry
she's
Catalonia.
she's not touring this time of year, so she was away last week.
Representing the region.
That was Bob Mortimer
and it
last
was
week,
such
wasn't it? Isn't it ironic? Kerry Catalonia doesn't have a cat. Sorry, Chris, I'm interrupting your story.
So anyway, I said to her, what's your fun facts? What's your guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
And
Nothing.
do you know what I mean?
Nada.
Really?
Guilty pleasure.
It's
And I was thinking, this is a very British or like Western European thing.
Yeah.
I said, what's your fun food fact? And it was so lovely and innocent what she said. She went, every year. You know, I'm thinking like a pasty sandwich.
Yeah. Aye.
Cobs and cobs
She
and
goes,
cobs.
Potato chips and some crisps.
every year I get really excited about pomegranate season.
All right.
That's a
It's
proper
lovely answer.
Chris,
that's
that's
a
a
real
proper
lovely
foodie
answer. It's a lovely, lovely answer.
Yeah.
And I went, what? I went, like, what sort of, you know...
What do you put? Do you put them on toast with Nutella or something? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
You mix it up with Nutella. Yeah, whip it up. Put it in a scone or something like that and deep fry it. Or...
You see,
went, "No,
in the region of
it was
Jarrow that
lovely."
I'm from, the pomegranate is rare.
pomegranates, right?
Honestly,
I mean, I never had an avocado until I was about 33. Do you know what I mean? So,
So it was such a lovely response, but I tried to dig in. I was like, no, that's just a nice
just
that's
a proper
nice
food
thing.
memory, yeah.
But you ever, you know, if you're feeling like crap,
11:30 at night.
you know, and you've got like a food memory, this thing that you know you shouldn't be doing. And I was like, sometimes I construct a cheese board on the bottom shelf of my fridge. You know, because I can't be bothered to
Giving
take
her
it.
examples.
I can't be bothered to take it to the table.
and get it- so just leave it
I
there.
just say, I just take the knife to the fridge rather than the thing to the knife. Right.
To the fridge.
And she goes, no, I love pomegranates. And she had a light bulb moment, and I went, this is it.
Here it is.
We're
What
in,
is this?
we're in.
And she just said, I love chocolate milk when I'm feeling a bit down. I was like, oh, you've made me feel so bad about myself. Right.
That's
So
a
anyway,
nice
Roger,
thing. Yeah.
do you have any guilty pleasures
Guilty pleasures in
when
food,
it comes
I
to
take
food?
it.
Yeah. Things that you know that if there was a fly in the wall watching you, you'd think, I don't want people to see me doing this.
It's like any combinations
I've
or
found,
that stuff.
well, I was talking about this with Ben last week when we were in Spain. I've found as I get older, it's not very nice to watch me eat. Just as I don't like eating with my hands and faffing about with shells and prawns and picking up with mussels and all that. I don't need the theatre now. It's done.
Yeah.
But I also eat and I want it all in my mouth at once. And it's like, that's probably my guilty pleasure. I eat too fast, too much, because I don't want it to go cold. I don't want somebody naked. It's mine, and I want it all. And there's like, you know, I'm constantly going napkins and it's awful. I'm not good. And obviously,
I'm just picturing almost like Edward Scissorhands eating a meal.
It's flying over.
I think it's
Shot from the
also,
bottom of his head, you just say peas flying over.
it's also what you said to Catherine as well. Have you ever licked your plate? It'd be easy to say, have you ever not licked your plate? And you go, just stop, just don't do that. You know, it's like, does anybody want? Yes, I can do that all day quietly, you know, with the cutlery and
Well, that's
pretend
where
I'm
that
not-
come from.
Put the
That's where
napkin
my
underneath.
index finger thing come from.
Oh yeah.
If I can't lick a plate in public,
Well, you've got to know this. I'm just pretending I'm tasting this. It's very good. Yeah. Is there some more? Is there some more?
How about what you could use the next year? I'm just testing the gradient of the kind of.
It's just smooth. It's a good finish. That. Yeah.
what I've discovered over the years, though, is you need your index finger more. So what I've started to do is use the outside of my thumb.
Your thumb.
Because then I can still,
Because
like,
otherwise your gravy.
I can still...
Yeah.
I can still go, all right?
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Without getting
that's
debris on my...
That's me food finger. That's me food.
That's my food thumb.
That's me utensil.
Oh my good God.
I told you.
Food
Yeah.
Chris starts
Cutlery,
shaking hands
put your
with a
thumbs
thumb.
like
Yeah.
that.
You're trying to, and you're doing this, trying to avoid the handshake with a thumb. No, I can't. I'm eating later on.
Don't just a food thumb. Don't.
Is this sometimes what you found like this? Just
If it comes out of
sticking a thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't wash this thumb. It's like a Rington's teapot. It's just got layers of flavour from over the decades.
Chris is so he's just finding out what he had for lunch.
That's a red
you know
wine
what I mean?
reduction for last Tuesday.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, actually, that's that chowder that I made in 1998.
Layers.
Well, you know, there's a job out there tasting for
Tell
somebody.
you what, my word. That's great.
Oh,
Right.
dear me. Honestly.
I think
Time for one more.
I was going to go with the G word.
Oh, the G-Regs.
Might as well do it.
Yeah.
What's your Greg's order?
I thought about this because obviously do a lot of business with Greggs over the years. But when I was working in Barclays, the go-to Greggs then, because I was surrounded by them, in whichever branch I was at, would be a cheese savoury stotty. And they were heaven.
Yeah.
So from age 16 to about 22, 23, 24. But then I found I developed a gluten intolerance. So every sandwich I ate, I suddenly went very tired. And everything just stayed with me. It was when I was leaving the bank and going to work with Dad, and I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was gluten. I tested and all that, and it was... So I found I couldn't have bread, I couldn't have beer, I couldn't have pizzas, I couldn't have batter, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I got, I think it was 19 and a half stone. And I stopped gluten, and within 3 months I'd lost 3 stone. Just like that. And I felt great.
Isn't it?
And all my energy was back. And it was
Yeah.
like, so my Greg's order then would have been a cheese savoury stotty, but these days it's a latte because everything else has got gluten in it.
Have you ever gone back to it or not?
Yeah, I do now. I just
Now and again,
now and again I'll have something because you cannot live your entire life having just, if I buy a loaf, I'll buy gluten-free.
Yeah.
If I buy pizza, I'll buy gluten-free. But really, I just started dodging everything that had bread or pastry or beer or whatever. But now if I want a beer, I'll have a beer. If I want fish and chips, I'll have it. But I won't have many chips because I will feel bloated with the batter.
That's the thing, you're going to
it's just-
suffer. So yeah.
And a lot of people in our trade over the years have developed, because we eat out a lot and we have ate out a hell of a lot, sort of intolerances to it. I mean, who's the guy that's got the Northumberland Cheese Company? He's allergic to cheese now.
Oh, yeah.
Bless him. You're around something enough, eventually.
What a punishment.
It's not good, is it?
Yeah. We talked about this earlier on with hay fever as well. I think because I've been in so many farmers' fields with like that hay being blasted in my face, chasing combine harvesters and stuff like that. Over the years, every time I'm like, this never used to happen. It's started to get to us a little bit now, But
we used to do the same with singing. Every summer we'd start doing wedding gigs, and my voice is terrible.
Yeah.
Because it was the pollen.
Yeah.
Started and it was like, why is it always for weddings? It's not. It's just when wedding season kicks in.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm the same, exactly the same as Roger. That's why I couldn't eat it. But now and again, I've had a few lately. But it's corned beef and a sausage roll for me. So
I know. Yeah. Well, listen, you've got to have some guilty pleasures. It's
Cheese savoury was a classic.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
That's what I had. When you saw me, was it yesterday?
Is that what you were
They
eating?
do a good cheese savoury across there.
Is that what you are?
Yeah.
Because they're Moorish, aren't they?
And it's a Geordie thing,
You
I
never
didn't
really
know
want
that.
in the end. I think I said to Jess, it's got to be the best selling sandwich in the country. She says, it's just a Geordie thing. And I went,
Didn't realise.
really? She said, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not everywhere.
Best sandwich, ham and peas pudding. I used to go for two. There was a local one, ham and peas pudding and a tongue. So I had a tongue sandwich and a ham and peas pudding. But as the same as you, I've eaten it too much that I can't have it anymore.
Yeah,
so
it's bloated.
even
brought your tongue
potatoes,
today?
And I've had. Honestly, I went into M&S.
Sometimes give each other. I was going to say we give each other tongue gifts.
Yeah,
It's not that sort of podcast.
I don't know. You got a thumb. Well, that's it. But I bought 2 packets of M&S on Saturday, and it's good tongue. It's really nice. And then I got a pack the other day. Honestly, I think I'm addicted.
Well, in my grand's village, there used to be a van come on a Friday.
Sing it.
Yeah, he was.
Can you do it?
Robert Palmer.
There was a Robert
Might as well
Palmer
face
version.
it,
Addicted to
Addicted to
tongue.
Tongue.
Yeah.
It's a new title.
Sorry,
It could go one or two ways.
Yeah.
No, it was just there was a van used to come as invariably they did to villages in those days. You know, the fish guy on a Friday, but George had a van and it sold everything. And he would have my gran would go out and she would have a quarter of tongue and some ham and some peas pudding and this to make sandwiches up for the week. You know? And it was great stuff. I mean, it wasn't refrigerated.
Yeah.
Nothing was.
Yeah.
Not even the fish van was.
Yeah.
It was just open the doors, buy it quick, get it in the kitchen.
Eat it!
Quick. Back to the meat draw.
Hey, God. Walking around a social club with a big joint of meat.
Yeah.
Oh,
For the
man,
next day.
I still love. I mean, like, you know, nostalgic memories of the fish man. Yeah, same now and again. Like, I love it how you say it as if he's Santa Claus and it's the same person.
He's the
that
fish
goes
man.
out all the
He's not a fish.
You remember
man.
the fish man? Like, he's just a man,
Yeah,
man.
that sells fish.
the pop man. Roger,
That's great. Thank you very much, Roger.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
guys, I've really enjoyed it.
Been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
loved it.
Good stuff.
Time for a Polaroid.
Time for a picture. Time for the low and all. I'm bussing.
Oh, no, I'm the same. For the last 40
I know, I
minutes.
shouldn't have traffic. I know.